Hey everybody, Rob here to tell you that this week's episode is something a little different. You may notice that the episode is almost 4 hours long, and that is because this week we're not just talking about comics and movies, we are doing a complete playthrough of our friend Sam's game, Henshin, a Sentai RPG. Sentai is the Japanese genre of TV shows that was kind of made famous in the West by Power Rangers and stuff like that. And it's a role-playing game similar to Dungeons and Dragons and other stuff like that. But it's basically us creating our own Sentai superhero story and playing it out. And it's a super fun time. We have the video version on our YouTube if you search Chrono Speakeasy on YouTube, and this is the audio version. We are not the best actors, but it's a really funny and good time. I hope you enjoy.
Welcome to another episode of Wednesday here on ChronoSpeakeasy.com. I'm your host, Paul, joined with Rob.
Hello.
Jay.
Hey.
Chandler.
Hi.
And welcoming back to the show, Mr. Sam Cusick. What's going on, man?
Not much. Thanks for having me, guys. Trying, I'm sure.
Welcome back. So it's an exciting episode because we're going to be playing a game which I know nothing about. So I'm going to just pass this intro over to Sam so he can get the ball rolling, so we can just dive right on in.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Paul. Yeah, we are going to be playing Henshin, a Sentai RPG, a game that I co-created with a friend of mine, Tim, here in Portland, Oregon. We are a game publisher called Cave of Monsters Games. And if you don't know anything about Henshin, Henshin borrows from the Sentai genre, which is where Power Rangers and Kamen Rider, all those fun, bright, colorful, action-y things came from out of Japan. So we built a storytelling RPG. What's nice about this is that it's a diceless game. We'll kind of get into the mechanics of it there, but it's really collaborative. It's meant to be more about who are these people outside of their heroics. We want to balance the day-to-day struggles versus fighting aliens and monsters and what have you. So yeah, we'll be playing a one-shot today with 4 players. Let's get into it. I touched on this a little bit, but the way that Henshin works, there's one core mechanic that's important. Every character has turns. They have 3 different types of turns. There's heavy turns, which gives you the ability to transform, summon mechs, do really hard, long-lasting things. There's regular turns, which are more they're more meant for moving the story along. So say you're in a situation where you want to take action, but it may not necessarily have severe consequences or anything like that. We can use those to really move the story along to get to those nice, really fun bits. And then there are light turns, which... Light turns are more, I like to describe them as something that you're kind of doing against your character's archetype. So for example, Rob is playing Blue. Blue is kind of the analytical, smart character. A lot of your turns are having those solutions kind of blow up in your face or fail in a way that you weren't trying to predict. And the cool thing about light turns, this gets into that mechanic that I was talking about, is they gain you a token. So the game works on a token economy. By taking light turns, you gain a token, and you can use those tokens then to enact heavy turns. So heavy turns can't be used until you've done something kind of more consequential. For the purposes of this game, I'll be using little itty-bitty Pokemon figures to represent tokens, so I'll let you guys know who has what there. But any questions about that, the game mechanic and how that works?
No?
So far, I follow it.
Yeah.
Cool.
As long as you tell me I can't do something, I'll be good.
Sounds good. Yeah, and I'll be checking in as we go through the story to remind you to take a look at turns, and if you want to do something, is there something that feels appropriate, and maybe give you some suggestions. So don't feel afraid to ask questions if something feels unclear or you're not entirely sure if it fits a specific term. Some of the language is a bit fluid. We're not as the cool thing about this game is it's not as hardly defined as your D&D or anything, so we can have a conversation to see if something feels right. Cool. All right. So
do any hand on forehead things?
Not yet. So let's get into creating a squad. So Super Sentai usually exists in squads anywhere from 3 to one of the most recent ones ended up being 12 members, which was really interesting. But for this one, we'll be playing a squad of 4 folks. And I think what I'd like to do, since we're introducing a special color, Jay is playing gold, let's get into Rob, Paul, and Chandler. You guys, for the purposes of this story, would have existed as a squad before this. We're playing something after you've gained your abilities and you're kind of there in time. And we've decided to use dinosaurs as our aesthetic, similar to Zeo Ranger, which is where Mighty Morphin comes from, our Q Ranger, which is where Dino Charge, one of the more recent Saban seasons, comes from Power Rangers. What do you guys see as your squad? What do you think their mission is? What are they trying to protect? Does anyone have any ideas or anything that they came to the table with?
We're Team Good Times, and our mission is to protect the good times. That's something that we say constantly on our show, is that we're Team Good Times. So that seemed, but
Is the good times like a restaurant that like
it's a
popular
comic book
hangout
store.
spot? A comic book store
where we store all of our magical shit. We're protecting it from falling into the wrong hands and just protecting from, protecting from falling into the wrong hands. It's a source of
Team
our
Bad
good
Times.
powers. I don't know.
Comic shop to store magical items. So is this kind of a like
items sounds better than shit.
Warehouse 13 situation where you guys are like guardians of like the Philosopher's Stone and stuff like that?
Ooh.
Well, Paul, you said you're related to King Arthur, correct? Your name?
That was my direct quote. Yeah, I'm related
So how
to King
about,
Arthur.
I picture like, imagine if Comicopia, when you go in that little back doorway, leads to an elevator that goes underground, where we have the Sword and the Stone.
Ooh. Yeah. Or at
could
the
be
very least,
protecting.
we have like shards
Maybe like
of
another
Excalibur. We turn into
dimension
like
called like
coins.
Dinoconda.
Dinoconda!
A technologically advanced dinosaur nation.
That only the Sword of Excalibur can unlock us to.
Yeah.
So, like,
Excalibur is the key to
Dinosaurs
Dino.
TV show.
Can I throw something in there to
Please.
try and bind this all together? Because it is hard to lay like King Arthur and dinosaurs on the same playing field. What if there's secretly in history dinosaurs didn't go extinct? Dinosaurs didn't exist. Dinosaurs didn't go extinct until like Arthurian times. So maybe Arthur actually had dinosaurs, and the Knights of the Round Table all had their respective sort of like dino riders. I'm just trying to figure out where dinosaurs fit into this, because otherwise
I like this.
It's like
a
kind of
little
like
hard.
it's like kind of like How to Train Your Dragon a little bit.
The meteor sent it to a separate dimension called Dinoconda.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
And we have an elevator that goes to there.
King Arthur and his knights had
Is this kind of like what one
dinosaurs.
of the newer Transformers movies was like? Like somehow the Decepticons were involved with King Arthur.
Yeah, and Optimus
yeah.
Prime, I think, was a knight.
I didn't see it, but
Dinosaurs
seems
to
weird.
protect magical treasures. Cool. Dinosaurs. Yeah, maybe like dinosaur spirits. I'm gonna pitch something here. We're locked away to protect magical items. So maybe like the last dinos all sacrifice themselves and are hid underground, and you guys through some happenstance found them in the basement of a comic shop. I like it. Cool.
Yeah.
It's been a good time.
I support this.
So normally in these types of shows, there's a character that we like to refer to as a custodian of power. For examples, think like your Zordon or your Alpha 5, someone who's like aware of that and helps you guys sort of grow and elevate. Given what we've set up,
Merlin.
what would be a good custodian?
I think of some sort of wizarding type. Like a
Dino Merlin.
Dino Merlin.
Okay.
I don't
Merlin,
know.
but he has his cane has amber, like in Jurassic
Okay.
Park.
with like
I like that.
So,
with dinosaur
about the-
teeth.
can I suggest something?
Please.
Remember the baby from Dinosaurs? Imagine him grown up,
Oh,
Oh boy.
God.
and that's the person.
Yeah, I'll give you two examples, or I'll give you two options. We could do that. Grown up baby. That would be kind of fun to play because I can throw Not the Mama out there. Or I like the Amber idea, and it makes me think of what if there's a giant anthropomorphic mosquito? He can like help revitalize fossils and stuff.
Kind of like Splinter, but more disgusting.
Yeah, exactly. He's slobbering all over the place.
Yeah.
Like our alpha.
What do you guys think?
I want the mosquito.
down.
Gross mosquito.
Yeah, gross mosquito.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jay.
I was just throwing it out there.
All right, so we'll just call him Mosquito.
Mosquito
Sounds
still
too
say-
menacing. Giant mosquito named. Jay, do you want to give me a name for the giant mosquito?
Niles
Mosquito?
West.
That's pretty damn
that's
good.
Got it.
That is real good.
We got it. Niles
Still
West.
say not the mama.
Yeah. Kane has Amber. Okay. Cool. Niles West. That is good. Let's see. Anything else from the principal side? Oh, so let's talk setting. We've set up a comic shop already. Where do you guys think this story is taking place? Is this kind of in a city? Most of the Sentai stuff actually takes place in a city. Or like in space or something like that. They usually end up on Earth.
I picture, when I think of this type of story, I picture it on like a coastal beach town, kind of like Southern California.
I'm into that.
I feel like surfer dudes would be around. I mean,
Yeah,
Chandler's name
water.
is Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bleach blonde.
Cool. Yeah, let's do a let's do a coastal city then. Paul, hit me with a name.
Of like for a city?
Yes.
Yeah.
New Bostonia.
Wonderful. Kronos, speak easy.
Surfsylvania.
Surfsylvania?
I don't know,
No.
surfing.
No, that's Surfsylvania is the country we're in.
I will drop it. Just quick ad that if you go to henshingame.com, we do have a horror themed module. So
Ooh, Halloween special.
yeah, too spooky.
Halloween in Surfsylvania. It's the sequel.
Halloween in Surfsylvania. All right, so Team Good Times. All right, Team Good Times. We've established what our principle is. It's to protect the good times, which is magical items from the Arthurian time. Dinosaurs were protectors of that realm and would lock themselves in this comic shop basement. This is great. In their comic shop basement to protect the magical items. So, who's after these items? Who are we protecting these from?
Team Bad Times.
Team Bad Times, great.
But okay, so who was the main like bad guy during King Arthur's times?
Those Morgan Le Fay, Mordred, and any diseases
So-
that were
So
around.
it's gotta be
Consumption.
it's gotta be like somebody from that time and like an evil dinosaur.
So it'll be Morgan Le Fay and
And like her
Orgesaur.
velociraptor or something.
ooh,
Yeah.
I'm into that.
Like a really or like kind of like Meowth with Team Rocket. Like
So when you,
Snarky
when
Velociraptor.
you said Meowth, I immediately thought of a Velociraptor, but he's got like a monocle and kind of he's very
Yes,
he's
I
very
picture
well
that.
put together. Yeah, because
he wears like the collar of like a tuxedo, but only the collar.
Wait, is this what he was wearing back in the times of Arthur, or this is present day?
He's still wearing it to this day.
Got it.
And I picture him also doing it in the King Arthur times.
So he was a fashionista, like who was just way the fuck ahead of his time.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah,
Was
Like,
way
we
ahead
have-
of his time and then went way behind his time.
he was way
he
out
still
of his
looks
time,
good.
and then he stayed there. All right, so intelligent velociraptor. I like this because in the genre, there's usually like a main big bad, and then somebody who makes the monsters, or like a lieutenant who helps carry out the plan. So we're already set up pretty nicely there for that.
So wait, so
Jay,
it was
hit
Morgan
me
Le
with a
Fay.
name for the intelligent velociraptor.
Vincent.
Can you put
Just
a little more
Vincent.
sauce on that for me?
Yeah.
How come? What's like a raptor?
How about Claw?
Vincent Claw.
Vincent Claw.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, Vincent Claw. Spelled with a K.
For some reason,
course,
I'm
yeah.
imagining like Tim Roth playing this character.
I'm gonna write Tim Roth meets Tim Curry.
Yes.
Meets Velociraptor.
The best evil English Tims.
And do you guys have
Vincent Claw.
someone in mind for Morgan Le Fay?
Helena Bottom Carter.
All right.
That seems a little too obvious.
All right, fine.
Can you give me somebody
Bill
to mix
Cosby.
them with?
Yeah, how about like Helena Bonham
Ann
Carter
Coulter.
And Coulter.
Yeah.
Trying to think who.
Ann Coulter works pretty well.
Yeah. Okay. That's hard. That's hard to go.
Yeah,
Oh,
kind
boy.
of like a sociopathic newswoman.
Just their aesthetics are so different. Not to derail this podcast, but
It is true. Aesthetically, they are
Yeah.
very different.
It's hard to meld those
Sarah
two together.
Palin.
Yeah, I have a peach white top and fucking crazy spaghetti hair.
Um,
You need a black top.
I don't know.
It's
I
crazy
kind of feel
spaghetti.
like.
Yeah, how about Helena Bonham Carter? That makes sense.
Yeah.
That works.
Well, I
I'll
mean,
leave meets
sorry.
Ann Coulter because I like that.
she wears the skin of her dead enemies.
Oh, God.
Sorry, I was good at taking it to dark places.
And we'll
It's that villain.
we'll get into it in. I think in play it makes more sense to kind of set up through some scene work, but we will have a monster that you guys will probably be having to deal with. So let's have that conversation later, but keep some aesthetics or ideas in mind. Usually in Sentai, a lot of times monsters are object or like feeling or animal based. So that's something just to be aware of. So if something speaks to you, let me know and we can figure that out. Cool. Any other questions around setting or the squad or who we're fighting? I feel pretty good about this. This feels pretty well defined.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the script for the film now.
Well, you're already thinking about the movie. We haven't even got our season done yet. Cool. All right. Well, with that, let's get into character creation. You guys all have playbooks designated by your color. That's the way Henshin works. So we have red, blue, black, green, yellow, pink, and then two special colors, gold and silver. For this game, we'll be playing with blue, yellow, green, and gold playsets, or playbooks, excuse me. As I mentioned at the top, blue, yellow, and green will be pre-established as a squad. So let's go through those characters first, and then, Jay, I'm sorry that we're sort of pushing you aside for a second, but you'll get a big, impactful introduction in a little bit. So let's establish the rest of the squad first, and then we'll see where you fit in, so we can make you a special boy. So, Robert, do you want to kick things off by telling us about who you're playing in the blue playbook?
Yeah, so I'm going to be Norman, as you can see on my screen. Norman. Let's see, I have an unassuming face. I have bright eyes. Sensible wear. My connection is an accomplished sibling. And I like Stegosaurus. That's my dinosaur.
Stego is your dinosaur. Nice. Two questions. Do you have a task that you want to be playing to? As I described before the call, every playbook comes with a series of tasks, which are essentially just like, think of them as North Stars for your narrative, so it's something to play towards. Later on in the game, they'll be used to help develop your character, so you can get power-ups or retire a character or do some other cool stuff with them. But right now, for the purposes of this one-shot, I'd like everybody to select a single task, and we'll announce that, and you guys will focus on it and play.
As in, like, the play it by the book most of the time.
Yes, or calculate
Yes.
possible courses of action.
All right. Yeah, I like to play by the book most of the time.
Cool. I like that. Sweet. And then, so you pick Stegosaurus, sensible wear. Is there like a celebrity or somebody you have in mind for how Norman looks?
See, Norman, I picture him as kind of like a... let me think. Sensible... I feel like when I think sensible celebrity, it's difficult for me to picture a sensible celebrity.
I'm thinking like maybe Dustin Hoffman, but like early Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah, like All the President's Men.
Yeah.
Dustin Hoffman. Yeah, I like that.
Cool.
I just immediately thought of Rain
1970s
Man.
Hoffman.
Dinosaurs, definitely dinosaurs. They're bad.
I gotta count all my dinosaurs. Cool. Thank
Yeah,
you.
let's go with that. Let's go with 70s Hoffman.
70s Hoffman. Let's just
That's my
write
vibe.
that down.
I'm going
Nice.
to Google 70s Hoffman so I can fully embody.
And actually, it's the Hoffman thing is funny. I wasn't thinking about this with regards to your connection, your accomplished sibling. Do you have an idea in mind for what that looks like? Like,
As in, what my sibling has accomplished.
yeah,
He's Obama.
maybe this will come out more in play, but the connections are usually like it's a story element that helps ground you to the world. So for Blue, for instance, it could be like, say we were set in high school, it could be your family values sports over smarts, and so your accomplished sibling is like the varsity jock. That's kind of the easy one to go with, but that's what the connections are supposed to do, is help gives us some frame of reference for what your life might be like.
I'm going to go with my sibling is 4 years older, graduated valedictorian, super book smart, plays it by the book all the time, and has a great college career going.
Mm-hmm.
Parents love him, and I'm also smart. You know, I play by the book most of the time, but you know, I don't have his grades.
Awesome. So let's give this big person. I'm gonna go brother. Norman. What's a good? Trying to think how parents would name
Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin's not cool though. Kevin's not a cool name. My brother's smart, but he's
right.
also cool. My parents love
Flash.
him. Norman is like I picture Norman as like an old man, like a 70s Hoffman kind of guy.
Like Jackson or like
Thomas.
Jackson's a pretty good
Hunter.
name.
Jackson.
Jackson
Ooh.
seems like kind of like a powerful 70s name.
I like that.
Like,
And
how's it
then-
going? My name's Jackson.
And in
You're
school
like,
they call
wow.
him Action Jackson.
That's true. On the when he's on the spelling bee, but he's also sinking threes at the basketball court.
Yeah, he's got the skills on the hard court and in the library.
Exactly.
Excellent, Jackson. Wonderful. Cool. All right, Norman Stegosaurus looks like 70s Hoffman. Plays it by the book most of the time. I like it. All right, let's move on to our Yellow Rangers then. Chandler, you are playing Kyle.
Yeah.
Tell us about Kyle.
Kyle has a good-natured face with focused eyes, and I have doting parents.
What are you wearing?
Versatile wear.
Oh my. What does that mean?
You know, I can get you a man that can do both. You know, kind of profesh and like also kind of like streetwear.
Be on fleek.
So is it just like is it like a very stylish tracksuit that you're like, he doesn't work out in that, and then you're like, bitch, of course I do.
Maybe like a cool like blazer with like a cool t-shirt underneath. I don't know, something like.
Kind of like
Let's just
Silicon
go-
Valley chic.
That's gross. Let's do streetwear. Yeah.
Streetwear.
Yeah.
All right. Streetwear. I'm sorry, the song from Aladdin just came on in my head where he says street rap.
Street rap.
Yeah. We'll go stylish wear because streetwear is not on there. Excellent. And tell me, what is the dinosaur that you're playing towards?
Well, my dinosaur is the Ankylosaurus.
Oh, hi. Ankylosaurus.
Is that the thing with a big hammer for the tail?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my second choice.
That's a
I'm
cute
so
one.
glad I didn't pick it.
There's a dinosaur focused season called Key Ranger, and the Ankylosaurus comes on later as one of the special rangers, but they just call him Ankyodon. And you meet him because he gets a toothache.
Oh, that's so cute.
Which is very fun. So Kyle, you got streetwear. Give us a celebrity who looks like who you want Kyle to look like. Let's talk about those doting parents. And what's your task?
Sure. I guess I'll look like. I'll look like M'Baku from Black Panther.
Oh wow! So you're a big boy then.
But also adorable.
Yeah. So you're not as handsome. You're not as like thick and hot as that guy.
Yes.
Is. Cool. Good. Looks like M'Baku from Black Panther. Great. Are you an only child?
Yes.
Okay. Doting parents. I'm gonna name them Mark and Cindy.
Sure.
Give me some examples of how they're doting.
Just kind of like overbearing is kind of like not really letting me kind of like breathe and be my own person. Because I'm the only child that's kind of like a lot of pressure to kind of like, carry on the family, do traditional things like, find a mate and get married and have a child and go to college and find the sensible job. And I just kind of want to do my own thing, but I feel like there's too much like obligation and duty.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. We don't need to get into it now, but think about, you said, I want to do my own thing. Think about what that is. Like, come up with a specific for, like, what do you want to do that you're not really getting from your parents right now? And what is that task that you want to play towards?
I guess that will go towards explore individuality and security.
Awesome. I love it. Cool. I will write that down as well. Anything else on Kyle you'd like to share with the group?
No.
He has a really high voice sometimes when he's nervous. And it's a frequency that only the dinosaurs can hear, and it throws them off. Like, what do we do? I don't know. And the dinosaurs run in circles and just... Sorry, I'm
One
just...
power.
Yeah.
There's one
Just-
power.
It's a very unhelpful power.
I don't know if you're fighting enemy dinosaurs.
I guess that's true. Enemy dinosaurs.
I like
Yeah.
the fiction
Victor
that
Claw is not a fan of it.
dinosaurs are specific about their sounds.
Yeah, it's so off tune. That was my Vincent Claw impersonation.
All right, let's move into our final regular squad member, Green. Paul, correct me if I'm mispronouncing this, but it's Arturius?
In my head, it sounds like Artorias.
Artorius.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think this is a wrong way to do it. I was like,
If anybody watching the stream knows, I don't care.
Yeah.
All right, Artorius. Tell us about what Artorius looks like.
He kind of has... I was kind of torn between aloof and distant, but he's definitely kind of a loner. Mm-hmm. Kind of shouldering a lot of responsibilities, kind of how I see it.
Okay. I guess it kind of comes down to, did you have, like I asked everyone else, is there a particular celebrity or character that you had in mind that might be a good point of reference?
Sort of. I guess, and this is probably not like a natural, a lot of people know, but Martin Henderson, if you guys want to Google him, he was in like The Ring, Smoking Aces.
Martin Henderson.
I don't know, for some reason, I just imagine kind of like, or maybe even like like a young Viggo Mortensen type. I'm just imagining long hair for some reason. That's sort of where
I like that. A young Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah.
So, put it in. Yeah, no, I found a perfect one that is not aloof or.
As soon as I heard that laugh, I was like, who did you find?
Here we go. It's going in.
Holy shit! It was Martin Henderson and Torque.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So let's go. How about offbeat?
Sure.
Okay, let's go offbeat. All right, long hair on the character sheet, just so everybody knows. And then how about those eyes and that wear?
I don't know. I was thinking solitary eyes, and I don't know, maybe asymmetrical wear.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, everything. You're like put together, but not in a way that somebody would look at you and just go like, he's got it. Like,
right, yeah.
You're not wearing a suit. You're kind of maybe wearing a crop top or something like that, or like a crop top with a fucking Under Armour shirt underneath it. So you're like, I'm athletic, but I'm also punk.
Yeah.
Do you have a connection in mind that you wanted to play to?
A straight-laced relative.
Okay.
I was thinking like a father figure, but if that's kind of been done to death at this point, I can try to mix that up. I know there's a lot of family drama going on, but maybe that's what unites us, our family drama.
It would ground you all for why you want to do this. So yeah, I'm totally into that. So straight-laced father figure. Cool. This almost borders on military parent, which is something that is more akin to like the yellow and black playbook, but we could go that way if you want to have it differentiate from Kyle.
Okay.
You can also change mine if you want. And go more towards like comic relief if you want.
No, I was yeah, I don't know. I mean, honestly, everything just kind of came down to like just sort of like the, just sort of like being a loner. Like I was thinking maybe the relative can actually know about what's going on with the dinosaurs and the store, and he's just kind of like, like. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking along as I go, but that was sort of like what I was thinking about with this character is that like their family is aware of this and they're kind of they're weighing a lot of that responsibility on him to kind of keep the group together and the store together and the good times together.
Okay, so I like that, and I'm going to pitch you guys on something that could help us tie Jay in very well. What if your straight-laced relative is actually Jay's character?
Ooh. I like that idea.
Jay, is that okay with you?
Yeah, sure. I'm cool
Because
with that.
then, yeah, I do like the idea that they know already about what's going on, and this, one thing that might be cool about you as a loner is that this relative might not have been around for a while. So this reintroduction of them, you're maybe having some self-esteem issues about like your place on the team, and then this person comes in and it creates some nice conflict we can play up against. So.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that works with what I had my connection as, so.
Sweet. So yeah, I'm just gonna make a note of that real quick. Who is appearing after all Pearson? Cool. Writing self-esteem issues under this character. Oh, and Paul, if you could let us know about your dinosaur and what task you are playing to as well.
I thought a T-Rex would be cool because apparently T-Rex is the king of the dinosaurs and his name is Artorias from King Arthur, so I thought that was kind of like a good thematic, thing going on there. And second question?
Pick a task that you want to play to.
Let's see here. My task was approach the right thing to do from the wrong way to do it.
Nice. All right, I like that one. It's a good one. Cool. Anything else on from Arturius from the Green Playbook?
No, I think that covers it.
Cool. All right. Well, let's get into our golden boy. Jay, you're playing the gold playbook, and your character's name is Zane.
Yeah. My looks are, I have a radiant face,
Okay.
gleaming eyes, and polished wear. So I wear like 3-piece suits.
Okay. Cool. I like that.
Should I keep going?
Yes.
Or should I hold up? Okay.
Well, we already kind of established your connection, right? Which one of these did you choose?
I was going to go with Royal Ally.
Oh, wow. Oh, my. Oh, me, oh, my. All right.
Because gold, it makes sense for gold, and like if I'm going to be the father of everyone, then I can just be a descendant sort of thing.
You're not everyone's dad.
I'm everyone's dad.
Not everyone's dad.
Was it?
I'm writing not everyone's dad.
There's something.
I'm
I
trying
know.
to
I'm
be.
thinking of Final Fantasy VIII, where you find out every character was in the same like nursing home, not nursing home, preschool or some bullshit.
Nursery?
It was a weird dumb
Much
twist.
rather play that game where a bunch of old people are having a shared like nightmare or dream. That's great. That's amazing. What is Zane? Give us a celebrity. Give us a person.
I was thinking dude who plays Jaime Lannister, which his name is Nikolaj Koster. It kind of meets Prince as far as personality goes.
Okay.
Really like
yeah.
flashy and dramatic.
Yeah, I'm into it.
And it actually
Cool.
kind of fits with my character's look. Like, you can kind of buy those two being related. Like a Viggo Mortensen and that guy. Nikolai.
And that guy,
Boom.
Nikolai.
Yeah, a bunch of Eastern European names and
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that works. I like that. Cool. What's your dinosaur?
Spinosaur.
Spinosaur. Interesting.
I like that. We got 2 aggressive dinosaurs, 2 defensive dinosaurs.
Yeah.
What's neat too is that the Spinosaur is supposed to be bigger than a Tyrannosaurus, so
I like that.
figure.
Yeah, and I mean,
So father figure.
in terms of structure, there's a 5-minute video we could watch on who would win in a fight. Or I guess who would win in intelligence challenges? I don't know.
That
Yeah, I
sounds
mean-
fun.
They are that parallels very nicely because that you kind of dwarf green in some aspects, and there is that like you came from this type of lineage and this type of like defense or attack, what have you. So I like that a lot.
yeah.
Cool. And what's a task that you want to play to?
Display the shining pinnacle of my abilities.
For all to see.
Yeah, for all to see.
Yeah.
Really put myself out there and shine bright amongst everyone else.
Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a golden diamond.
Shine on, you golden diamond.
I'm actually, this entire time about dinosaurs, all I can think of, what was that 80s song, like, Everybody Walk the Dinosaur? It's
Everybody
like,
get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur.
yeah.
I
I don't know why.
know.
Yep. They had that song in
Super Mario Brothers, the movie.
Super Mario Brothers, yeah, when he was dancing with the chick that had the rock or whatever.
Yeah.
Make a
Boom,
production
boom,
note
shaka, shaka,
for
shaka, boom.
have that be the intro music to this episode. 'Cause I think that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Making it happen. Cool. Cool. So, anything else on the characters? There's another character specific thing that I want to do to get you guys set up with some tokens, hopefully. But anything else anyone would like to share about their respective characters?
I guess my character probably would have been the first out of everyone, but is kind of coming out of retirement to help.
Yes. So we'll get into this in a little bit after we get through special turns, but we'll do some opening scenes so everyone can go around and kind of introduce themselves within this world. And Jay, we'll be treating Zane's scenes as kind of an arrival. So you've been around for a while. Maybe this is something that Arturius has not let on to the rest of the group yet. I'll let you guys kind of play that out or decide. But I think for the purposes of the story, Kyle and Norman should not be aware of Zane, and Arturia should know about them, but probably not even know them all that well. You know, it seems like you've been kind of an absentee relative.
Right.
Cool.
So,
awesome.
Arturius has some sort of training beforehand, but doesn't want to give up how. That sort of thing.
Yeah. Think about it like you've been gone, you've been training for a while, and now you're back, and we can set up kind of a story reason.
Nice.
Wait, what did we name our mosquito guy?
Niles West.
Niles West.
That is fucking brilliant. I love that.
That is great.
Niles West. Cool. All right. Yeah. If no one else has any character notes or anything, well, a lot of stuff's going to come up in play. So let's just move on to the special turn section then. Because of what we've established, and no. Okay. Scratch what I was just about to say. For the purposes of what we're going to do, because we're doing a story that is set a bit further into the future, you guys are a pre-established squad as opposed to us like making a squad from scratch. We're not doing an origin story. We're going to do a little exercise where we take a look at the special turns. So if you take a look at the playbook up here, special turns are located at the top of your center column. So I'm going to have everybody go around and read those out. And what I would like to do, they're really like character and story focused questions. So it's supposed to give us a little bit of background and shared history amongst the group. One thing that's kind of difficult to do with introducing a special ranger is they haven't really had that opportunity yet, but because of the connection that we've made with Green, that might be an opportunity for us to do something there. So Paul, if we can start off with you, let's take a look at your special turn. If you could read it out loud, let's kind of talk about how that feels.
Sure. Special turn. When you take an opportunity to prove what you've learned to someone else, they receive a token.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough to
what you learn.
Maybe if we can do this, Paul, if you can make a note on your scene, your opening scene, let's actually have you and maybe Zane, if it feels right, do an opening scene where you are trying to prove where you're at. And we can just have that set up there. So tentatively, Zane, you will get a token. Cool. All right, let's move on to Norman.
All right, my special turn is when you accept the support of someone stronger, your next heavy move does not cost a token.
Heavy mood.
Heavy mood.
Oh, big mood.
So emo.
These boys and their heavy moods.
So Norman, who of the three of you between I keep wanting to call you Atrocitus, and she's appropriate for this podcast.
Can we just call you Artie?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Artie for short.
Ooh, I like that actually. Artie.
But I'm a dick dad and still call him Artorius.
Artorius! When you're mad at him. That's when you know he's mad.
Artorius Brian.
Artorius! You're the robot, Artorius!
So, between Artie and Kyle, Norman, who's stronger than you? Who kind of scares you physically?
I'm going to say they're both stronger, but since Chandler said he looked like the guy whose name I always forget from Black Panther.
Was it M'Baku?
I'm going to...
M'Baku.
I'm going to say M'Baku.
Cool.
Sweet.
Because Paul just... His guy looks like, he might stab you, but it's not...
he's a shady bitch. Yeah, no, I get it.
He's a little shady. Chandler's just, imposing. Or Kyle is imposing.
Kyle is imposing. I'm writing that down. I like that. And given your limited knowledge about, the story and Kyle, come up with let's come up off the cuff. How would you have accepted their support? And strength comes from a lot of different places. There's physical strength, there's emotional strength. Kyle, from what has been painted, seems like a pretty grounded person who may be pretty emotionally aware of where they're at. How do you think Kyle would have helped you? And we can come back to you if you need a moment.
I picture it as like I'm trying to do some kind of dumb smart thing, like come up with some dumb idea to beat some bad guy, and then like you said, shit doesn't work out, it goes bad, but then Kyle over here, big friendly strong guy, like he's got my back, helps me out, like in a protecting in the fight kind of way, like I guess physical.
Awesome. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you guys were fighting one of these like dino creatures, and you had a device that you made that just like blows up in your face, and you're left defenseless. Maybe you're left unmorphed, and Kyle comes to your rescue. Cool.
Good old defensive
Chandler, does that
ankylosaurus.
sound good to you for Kyle?
Yep, sounds good to me.
All right, and now, Kyle, that's a nice segue into your turn. Can you read your special turn, please?
Sure. When you acknowledge someone's admission of friendship with you, their next heavy move does not cost a token.
All right. What are you thinking? Do you want to... The easy thing to do here would be to pair you up with Blue, with Norman, because of what we just set up. But I don't want to pigeonhole you or sort of railroad you there.
Yeah. Well, I also don't want to leave. I don't want to leave Artie out, because we're a team. We've been established for a while, so like I don't really spread the love or like.
It's
Well,
up-
Artie's a loner.
Yeah, he's a loner.
What
He
feels
is a
right to
loner.
you, Kyle? Well, one interesting thing that we're starting to hit on here is Blue is also kind of a loner because, like, you're the smart one and you're coming up with all these solutions. So Yellow is really becoming this nice, like, emotional core for the group, if you want to go that way. So that could be something. You could be bearing the weight. You could be working towards a guidance counselor position. Maybe a therapist.
I'm the heart of the team.
Yellow is kind of modeled to be that in some way, the sort of emotional burden taker of the team. So that's I like that as an option if that feels good to the rest of the group.
Yeah, I'll extend that to Artie just so we're all kind of like connected.
Cool, I love that. Can you talk about how you guys would have became friends?
Well, I think this is pretty obvious. As longtime comic book fans shopping at the Good Times comic book store.
Yes, I like that. Met at the comic book club. Or,
Maybe we were like, we met at the comic book store, but we didn't really like each other. It wasn't until we actually stumbled into that basement that our friendship was thrust upon us.
yes.
Like you guys like different
meeting a
books.
giant talking mosquito will get a lot of people.
I'm trying to come up with the voice too of just like I'm Niles, like
Like a waspinator.
I'm just imagining. I'm imagining Michael Caine. I don't know why. I'm just
but like
imagining.
nasally Michael Caine.
Yeah, my name is Niles. And
My name
Could
is
just be Jeff
Niles.
Goldblum. A really like suave voice.
I picture Paul because he's kind of like the cool loner. He's always reading like the cool Vertigo books, like Preacher and stuff.
Right.
And then since I'm like smart, I read like Jonathan Hickman and pretend I understand what he's talking about, but I also don't. And then Chandler is just like, he reads a little bit of everything. You know, he likes the slice of life manga. He's just like, he reads the superhero stuff. You know, he's not too proud.
I also, that makes me think. I'm gonna throw an idea out there. Or as I've come to be known in the gaming community, let me hit you with this. Kyle, what if you worked at the comic book shop and so you were able to make recommendations, and through getting to know everybody's titles, you sort of became friends that way?
Oh, that's cool.
I'll go with that. Yeah,
Does that feel good? Cool. So we'll just go worked.
You become known as "Let me hit you with this."
Yeah, it's a phrase. I have many phrases, which could be a whole other podcast where Kyle works. Kyle, can I throw one more idea out there?
Sure.
What if your parents don't know and or don't approve of you working at the comic book shop?
I was thinking that. Yeah. So
I like
go with
that.
Why can't you work at a Barnes and Noble?
Yeah.
That's what my dad thinks.
These aren't real books.
I have to say bookstore because he doesn't really understand comic books.
Like you work with comedians who read books?
Right.
They
And
have
they're getting
pictures.
coffee
How are
in
they
cars?
books?
Right.
Does not approve of the comic book store job. Sweet. All right, I love that. Became friends through that. All right, cool. Let's round things out with a special turn. So, actually, before we finish off with Jay, I did put tokens for blue and yellow, just to signify that though it won't cost a token, you basically like have that charge ready to go to use a heavy turn. So you won't need to gain a token, but if you want to come in hot to use a heavy turn, you're able to. So just something to note as we get into the scenes. And I'll manage that and let you know as well. All right, Jay, read off your special turn, please.
My special turn is when you cast the spotlight on another while the stakes are high.
Could you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, my mic is on. Okay.
No, I just didn't listen.
When you cast the spotlight on another while the stakes are high. For the special turn.
Your next heavy move does not cost a token.
I didn't know I needed to read that part. I thought it was just for everyone.
As a rule of thumb, read everything.
Well, all right. Do you want me to read it all again?
No, it's good. I think we got the gist of it.
Rob can edit it, just not the live version.
I'm not going to edit it. It's fine.
We got to get this out to the masses.
This is how games are played.
Jay,
Put me on the spotlight.
did you have an idea out of what we had already set up with Artie? Sort of doing more of this spotlighting within an intro scene. Did you want to touch on anybody else?
Well, the only thing I was thinking of for the most part for him was him and I arguing about teaching him a move to use that like he doesn't have down right, and that sort of thing. I guess it would be me trying to share my knowledge with them for each of their specific strengths that they have.
Interesting.
Like, Lou, stop being such a tough boy. You're not a tough boy. You're a brainy boy.
And can I be like, well, your special move should have been you stuck
don't be
around.
so hot-headed. You're the one keeping everyone together. And Artie, just be the boy that I raised you to be. Or didn't.
You're my special boy.
Well, if you were around and you did actually raise me.
Hey, save it for play. Hush.
Here now.
Hush. Stop talking. Hush. All right. Cool. I like where that's going, and I would rather see that play out in play. So I'm going to write background. You think you know it all and are here to finally teach everyone. Cool. All right. So I've given everybody tokens effectively because I think, as I said, we'll play some of those things out in play. So just note that as we move forward. And yeah, I think unless anybody has any other questions about how the game works or characters, I think we're at a place to get started with actual play. Does that feel good to everybody?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So the way that this normally works is we usually open up with character spotlights. So everyone goes around and does like a minute or two on where they're at in the setting, just to help give us some framing about like some of your daily life or where things may have left off. I think given what Jay has set up, I would like to propose the following. The team Good Times team Good Times.
Team Good Times.
The Good Time Boys. You have all, I think you recently survived a battle where one of your Zords got like really messed up. Maybe it was an enemy. Oh, actually, yeah. Let's do this. You guys just fought an enemy that you weren't able to beat with your current Zords. Like, Vincent Claw created some sort of monster. Let's sort of talk about what that monster looks like now. That when your Zords combined into their Megazord form and you used your ultimate attack, which, given we got a Stegosaurus and an Ankyodon, it's probably some sort of, like, hammer attack or something like that, where you, like, throw your hammer out. Your
Spiked hammer.
Yeah, your Megazord... Mace. Just got what was that?
A Morningstar Mace.
Morningstar Mace, yeah, I like that. He just like knocked it back and then maybe fucking like moonwalked over you guys. So what is this? This villain is still, this monster is still out there, which I like. So maybe this is the introduction of like a 2 to 3 part episode where Gold comes in. We've gotten through the first episode already. And you guys are now in this kind of state of disarray of like, where did we mess up? Why are we not powerful enough to stop this creature? Given that setup, what does this creature look like? Who was this bad guy that you fought?
I picture...
Am I allowed to say things, or is it just on them?
No, yeah, this should be a group discussion because you'll be dealing with them later.
Okay.
One of their motifs are cassettes, for sure.
Cassettes?
Cassettes? Okay.
Yes.
So it's got...
So they're technology based.
Mm-hmm.
So is he a cassette tape or is he a cassette player?
Cassette tape.
Boombox.
And he like entwines people with like the tape stuff.
This is getting very fetishy.
What about like Ghetto Blaster that has cassette tapes come out and shoot out?
It's just Soundwave from Transformers.
Yeah.
Or I'm actually thinking of like the cassette tape from the regular show.
The summer tape from regular show.
Yeah.
Summertime Lovin'.
I was kind of thinking that as well. Can we turn that up to 11 by maybe giving him like a microphone and in the Prince or sort of flamboyant performer role, he has like a sort of goose neck. That's
Freddie Mercury?
That's not right. I'm thinking more like I'm blanking on the name. He has a piano, Liberace.
Oh.
Very, very flamboyant. Does that feel good?
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
All right.
More flamboyant than Gold?
It's
not flamboyant.
It's a different type of flamboyance. Yeah, flamboyant cassette tape with microphone slash staff.
I picture him as more like a cassette robot, like a big ass, like the core has the 2 little spinny things.
Okay.
Like for it to rewind, and like with his arms, if he wanted to, he could like sling the tape out, like the cassette tape.
Oh,
and
interesting.
then to bring it back, he has to go like this really fast in his chest to bring the spool back in.
Okay, could bring cassette tape out and has to reel
He has
it
to use a
back
number
in.
2 pencil to roll it back.
Or maybe since he's super flamboyant, if he like when he sings, he can sling out the tape, and then he has to do something else. I'm trying to think. I just picture the 2 spinning gear things to look ridiculous on a giant tape robot.
Yeah, I like this. Yeah, and I think we can get into those like weird mechanics in play.
Well, those
Paul...
can be blades that cut stuff. So that would cut the hammer. Or mace, rather. Right?
Why would he cut stuff? You don't cut cassette tapes.
No, the spinny things in the center. It could be like a saw.
Yeah, I like
it's,
that.
spinning around.
Or maybe you tried to shoot your Morningstar into that and he like pulled you in.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. And maybe we tried like an EMP blast attack, but since he's based off of analog cassette tape, it did nothing.
I like that. Yeah, you just sort of you microwaved his reels a little bit, but
yeah, but it's fine.
I like it. All right, so I'm gonna say can suck stuff in if caught in the reels. Paul, give me a name for this bad boy.
Let's see here. I don't know. Cassie Cassandra the cassette. I don't know. I'm trying to think of some. That's I don't know, fitting.
Rewind.
What was it?
Rewind. I don't know. That was the first thing that came to my head.
I like that. Rewind. I'm trying to think of like a good villain name for a cassette.
So one thing that Sentai does really well is it gets very punny. So if there's a pun we can use is rewind or cassette. Cassette regret.
Cassette.
Ooh, cassette regret.
Cassetrophy.
Catastrophe.
I like Cassetrophy.
I'm into that. I could get behind that.
I like that.
Cassetrophy. I'm having a hell of a time spelling that.
I would be surprised if you knew how to spell that.
I always...
Like, I've been doing this a long time.
I've been doing this a long time. Alright, I will type up Cassetrophy. Cool. Anything else about Cassetrophy? I'm a big fan of this guy now, actually.
Yeah.
Alright.
Speaks like Elvis.
So I know there's often things that, like, they do specific, like, Cassetrophy just wants people to hear their music, I guess.
Yes.
Like, it
He's always pushing his mixtape.
When...
Oh, God.
Yes. Only on the train, though.
Speaks like Elvis and is pushing his mixtape only on public transit.
Yeah, like he's always going and attacking like the train station depots and like
making everyone listen to his demo.
I'm just imagining him being outside like Downtown Crossing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Exactly.
When you listen to his mixtape, it's fire.
Oh, God.
It's straight fire. Cool.
Flames
All
are
right.
fast.
So Cassetrophy. Oh boy, Cassetrophy kicked your ass. He just fucking destroyed you. Let's pick up where that left off. So Team Good Times, you guys are maybe
Not
like a
having a good
day
time.
outside of this fight. Let's do some quick character vignettes, and then we'll get into the introduction of Zane. Kyle, why don't you start us off? Where are you at? Where are you at in town? Are you at home? For these character vignettes, it's good to just kind of like do a very quick scene about where your character is, how they're feeling. If there's a way to incorporate turns, light turns tend to work really well here. Take a look at those. But yeah, let's just do some quick vignettes to get in the roleplay mood. Chandler.
Oh, sorry, you said Kyle. I'm so sorry.
Very
That's
studiously
so like looking
reading.
at Paul. Like, go ahead, Paul.
Let's go. Wake up.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, I
so,
say Kyle because I'm trying to get you into character mode.
My bad. Yeah. So let's see. Let's say that I'm wrapping up at the comic book store, closing down. I guess I'm on the phone with my parents. They're kind of like badgering me to do something, like maybe pick up groceries, and I'm just like, okay, I'll do it. Okay, yeah, okay, sure. All right, then I hang up. Then I'm like, it really sucks that we kind of like got our asses kicked. Maybe I should call Artie or Norman and see how they're doing. Mm-hmm. But I think they might be a little too sore or upset about the whole situation, so I'm not really sure. So I'm gonna doubt myself when taking a definitive action.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Let's think. One thing I love to do with these light turns is throw some sort of consequence there. So you doubt yourself. No, that doesn't really work. I was gonna have Niles West show up and tell you something about the Zords, but I don't really have a good idea yet.
Can I choose something else?
Yeah, if you have something in mind, yeah.
I mean, I could like fail to call them, and like that could like react in something like maybe Artie or Norman are in a bind and they need help that I don't like.
How about this? Artie calls you. You're like, you get off the phone, you just see on your dumb little smartphone, like, Artie looking aloof in the distance because you couldn't get him to take a picture, so you had to, like, take a secret photo of him. And he is calling you because Zane has shown up. And so he's kind of like, fuck, we need to get the group together. So if you take that, you'll gain a token. I have a little tentacruel here. You used to be cool, man, but now you're cruel. If you fail to react, you will not be in the scene with Zane initially, but you will get a token. How does that sound?
Well, I want attention, so I will answer that call.
Ooh. All right. So, ring, ring, ring. That's the sound your phone makes when you pick up. Let's have that. Well, we'll sunset that scene with Artie saying something like, "I need you." You're like, Get to the base. Cool. All right, sounds good. So you don't gain a token just because you didn't fail. You actually reacted. So we'll hold on to that for now. Norman, where are you at?
So I picture myself in like a bunch of dumpsters behind where Radio Shack once existed, in the ruins of Radio Shack, because I need to find cassette tapes to do experiments and figure out how the hell to beat this thing.
Okay, I love this.
Since our EMP blast didn't work, I need to figure out what to do. So I'm behind a Radio Shack. I picture a bunch of like brick walls, and I've just stacked a bunch of cassette tapes up. And now I'm just trying to like just figure it out, just do some science, doing research on like how did you ruin cassette tapes back in the day, and just like, can you melt it? Can I get dust stuck in them? If we pull the spool out so far, will he be able to rethread himself? So let's see.
If we can tie this to a turn, it seems like you are trying to pinpoint an adversary's weakness. Is that?
Yes, absolutely. I'm trying to pinpoint the cassetrophy's weakness behind an old Radio Shack.
I like this. I like that this coastal city is probably far enough off the map, maybe like a San Diego, where like there's still things there that like people really enjoy, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna go to this cool thing, and then there's like old ass industry that nobody gives a shit about. Right.
Instead of an old mill town, there's a bunch of old like Blockbusters and Radio Shacks.
There were competing Radio Shack and Circuit Cities.
Exactly.
If anybody remembers that. We're all at the age, I believe. And so yeah, you're going through trying to figure out what you can do with cassettes, and you get the same sort of phone call. Your phone lights up. It's a different picture of Artie, I think, maybe taken from their social media, because you're all about integrating your technologies and everybody's contacts together. But it's still that kind of like, or actually maybe Artie has sort of like the I'm trying to think of like an edgy teenager social media, like leftover from the MySpace days when you had a goth
MySpace
phase.
angle shot.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's definitely in black and
Or just
white.
like the
Yeah, or like, yeah, it is that MySpace shot where you have some like
super extreme angle.
emo boy
like a
dark
cigarette and
eyeshadow. Your
Right, like the
shirt's-
hair, like down on one
Yeah.
side.
slightly pouty lips.
Your shirt's way too tight.
Yeah, maybe even maybe like a lip ring.
Yeah,
And maybe one of those like those, what was it, those sweat wristbands.
Were you?
God.
Is Artie edge?
the hair
Is
slap
Artie
ones?
straight edge?
Maybe he was.
Were you straight edge? I'm making a note of that.
He
Artie
broke edge and
was.
became super.
I broke the edge.
I broke edge. No, that's an actual term when somebody's straight edge and they break.
Yeah, man.
It's called breaking
You were nailed
edge.
to the X.
Wow.
Yeah.
I learned so much on this show.
Yeah, you had sex once, and that's it.
And that's like, and she died. And that's why I'm always just like,
Broke edge.
Oh my god, I don't think breaking edge is the.
that's why I'm just always
yeah,
just like, I'm always
the dramatic
wondering
part
like,
of that
what could
story.
I have done differently.
But he takes it that way. He broke edge, and that girl died.
Yeah, that's why she died.
That's why she died.
It has nothing to do with the giant monster we were fighting.
We were having sex on those train tracks.
Oh god.
Yeah, Victor Claw had nothing to
They
do with
couldn't
that.
feel
It
the
was all
Or
vibrations
maybe
of
he did.
the train.
Maybe he
Like
did.
he pulls out, my train pulls in.
Victor Claw
Oh
was
my god.
conducting it.
Paul, come
Let's
on.
picture this velociraptor with a monocle driving an old train.
Oh god.
He himself is all about abstinence. All right, I'm gonna fucking reel us back in. Cool. So, you probably pick up the call then.
Yeah,
Cool.
for sure.
All right. I think this is a good segue then to doing Artie's scene. So let's give Artie and Zane a little space to play the reveal out, and then we'll have Norman and Kyle show up onto the scene. But
Okay.
Artie, what are you doing?
Well, I think I'm constantly replaying that fight over and over and over. Think about all the different ways that it could have gone right. Maybe that's even kind of part of the after effect of fighting him, is that you're forced to like replay that event over and over and over and
I like
over.
that. Yeah.
He's already predispositioned to do that anyway, so maybe at first notice, things out of the norm, but it's just Artie being Artie, reliving the past.
So are
What
you
could've
just like sitting around and sulking, or
Yeah,
Background music.
yeah, a lot of L.A.
like
Smith.
where are you?
I'm imagining being probably like at home, isolated in a dark room.
Nothing on the
of
walls
innocence.
or the floor.
Debating, drinking about beer.
Just a mattress.
Listening to Dido.
And just in like the only book he owns is like The Art of War.
It's fucking weird.
I picture him having the art of war, but also kind of like the Catcher in the Rye, and he really, really like sees himself in Halden Caulfield.
no.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's definitely who Artie is.
Ugh.
All right, so yeah, you're. We'll do a camera pan, and Jay, get ready for this. So you're sitting in the room sulking. Everything's replaying in your head. You're seeing probably the tail get ripped off of Ankyodon and maybe Stegosauruses. The Stegosaurus's plates are damaged, and you're kind of reliving all that damage.
Right, just thinking like, what could I have done better? Like, not even as like a team, but as like as like a possible leader in this, or I don't know, maybe kind of like, yeah, just sort of feel like, how could I have like done things better? How could I have guided my team better?
Right. And there's not a man, you're playing a really fucking moody green now that I'm looking at the turns.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. I'm just let's try and push you to use some of those turns, because I'm looking and there's not much to fit this right now, but that's fine. So as you're sitting there with all those flashbacks happening, I imagine the camera kind of panning out and going, there's a long, long driveway going up to your house that's on a hill. For some reason, it's fall to me, so there's like crisp leaves, and it's the early evening. But as the light casts down the driveway, you see a shadow start to form as a figure, gilded in gold, appears. So Zane arrives onto the scene. Jay, take it away.
Artorius.
You don't even know my name.
You're just saying it outside?
Yeah, I'm,
Artorius.
yeah, fair point. I'll just continue to walk up to the door.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, you're walking up to the door. This is a house that you've probably
I've been to, at least.
Maybe even the house you built.
yeah, it could be a house that
Okay.
to you looks old, like much older. It's really showing the passing of time, and you're like, oh man, I've been away for a while. It's been a
Okay,
while.
so I'm not doing a dialogue scene to start. I'm just like outside hanging out in the dark, just waiting for him to notice me.
Just like you
What
said.
you're implying is the setup?
Well, my dear boy, I set you up so then you can use that as a jumping off point to enter
Okay,
the scene
I
in
was a
whichever
little
way you
confused.
want. No problem. Yeah,
Okay.
I apologize.
So yeah, I'll just kind of stand there for a second, inspect the house, and go walk up slowly, see how well maintenance the grass is and the wood paneling, and then knock on the door.
Hello?
Did you just hear an actual door?
What?
Oh no, somebody in my house just opened the door. Oh, that is sound effect. Sorry.
Yeah,
man.
We incorporated a door soundboard.
Yeah, my bad. I'm just gonna knock again.
Hello? Who is it? It better not be Zane.
So
Open
specific.
up.
Why would you know it was Zane?
You invited two people over. So you may actually be expecting folks. So maybe you hear the knock on the door. Let's have you head down, maybe tumble out of your room. My friends are here.
Thank God. Alright.
Are you gonna open the door? Looks like the yard hasn't been kept.
Oh my God.
For the jugular.
I know.
That's the first thing you see. You say to your wayward son.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's.
Well, looks like you haven't
old
been
garb.
around in a while, old man.
Ooh, tense.
Listen,
Picked a hell of a
I
time
may
to
not
turn
have been
up.
there for all the times, but for the times I was there, I raised you right. This is our family's home, and you should be taking care of it.
You're an asshole.
Be that as it may, still raised you better.
Did you really come back all this way to talk about lawn maintenance?
No, I came
What
back
really
because
brought
of
you
that
here?
fight. I saw what happened.
Ugh, awesome. So you're here to berate me about how poorly I did?
Trying to make you use your head more when you're fighting those creatures.
Well, that's something you and I can definitely agree on.
Alright, I'm gonna start to walk in to the house and just close the door behind me.
Why are you talking as you're doing it? This is weird.
I thought we didn't have to do the hand thing.
The hand thing?
What hand thing?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Sorry, I'm saying what my character's doing.
Yeah.
Like when you're out of character.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I just wanted to clarify what my character was doing, because in my head he was standing at the doorway having this conversation, and then started to walk in.
Yes. No, thank you for clarifying that. Yeah, we should all be doing that. Of when your character moves or does something significant like that, please let us know.
Okay.
You guys have this weird conversation about lawn care and personal responsibility and being stronger for your friends. And then we'll split the scene that Artie and Zane go into the door as Norman and Kyle approach up the driveway, and you just see this sort of like golden man go into your friend's house, and you're like, what the fuck?
I picture myself riding like a homemade Segway.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you guys both arrive at the same time and see this weird thing. What do you guys do?
Is Zane like in his his hero outfit or just wearing all gold?
He's
Like casual wear.
I don't think he's transformed. I think he would be in his casual wear, but from what Jay set up, it would be like a weird gold suit.
All right. Yeah, I was like, who the? You said weird gold suit dude walking into Artorias' house? Is his mom got a new boyfriend?
I hope Artie's okay.
Well, let's find out.
Stock Yellow Ranger phrase.
So yeah, do you guys approach the house? What do you do?
Yes, we approach the house.
Yes, wonderful.
And we knock, I guess.
All right.
Out of curiosity, real quick, I was trying to go with the light turn and remind someone that they weren't good enough. Does that count, or did I go way too far?
Let's now that I am aware of that, let's play that out in a later scene. If there is a turn that you would like to use, though, and this applies to everybody, announce it as you're doing that scene. Say like, oh, I want to use this light turn, because that lets me know what that is, and then I can assign a consequence to it so you can gain the token. So let's now that we know that, let's do another scene where we can play that out. But yeah, definitely let me know, because I'm not a mind reader, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Glad we established this.
Same. Cool. So yeah, Norman and Kyle, you approach the house. You probably hear some weird shouting from a normally quiet house that Artie has. It's dark and probably filled with unhealthy food because he's a teenager who lives on his own. So it's weird to see somebody in there at all. So yeah, let's cut back to inside of the house. Or actually, I'll cut back and say, I think you guys, there's a window on sort of the ground level, and you sort of press your faces up against it to be like, what's going on? And you see Artie talking to this golden man. And let's cut back to that conversation. So are you guys still arguing about, like, you fucked up, and you're like, yeah, I know, I guess that's not really an argument, but are you berating your son still?
Not berating him, just trying to brainstorm or educate him on different ways to fight, and how, like, not everything is just a straight shot. And sometimes the most obvious things are the best options, and instead of trying to be too fancy, I guess.
Like sticking around.
Yeah, Jay, say all of that, but like you're talking to somebody.
Okay. Okay. Listen, when you're fighting a monster like that, not everything has to be overly complicated. Sometimes their biggest strength is their greatest weakness at the same time.
Yeah, the problem is I don't know what the weakness is. And this sort of work.
Do you know what its strength is?
Kicking our ass and pushing its mixtape, which is not very good, in my opinion.
And I think with that, I'm going to throw a little challenge out there. When you say that, your stereo just kind of clicks on. It's like, and you hear the whirring, and maybe a beatbox sort of just like.
Yes, let's do that, please.
All right.
So how do you guys react to that?
Throw it out the window.
That their faces are pressed on?
Yeah, that's the only window in the house. Paul, is there a turn that Artie can use for something like that?
Yeah. There's he's got a, hold on, let me pull that up. He's got a, let's see here. Yeah, there is a endanger someone instead of accomplishing something. And that works pretty well.
I like that. So instead of
it fits.
Yeah, and so instead of you trying to figure out where this comes from, which is something Norman might do, he's just like, oh wait, like and actually,
right. And I could say, Dad, you just said simple's the best way to go, and just fucking throw it out the window.
I'm gonna retroactively.
Am I supposed to interrogate it?
I'm gonna retroactively tack something on there. As you guys were talking, a small cassette was flying around the room and flew into the stereo. You guys didn't see it, but that's what turned it on. So he's sending like little cassette tapes out. And yeah, we'll give you a token for endangering somebody instead of accomplishing something. So I like to think the scene plays out like this. You pick up your stereo, you're like, oh fuck, and maybe there's like a little PTSD there where you hear his voice and you have the flashbacks to the Zords like breaking down. You pick it up and you go to throw it out the window, and as you throw it, you see your friends are like, oh no, but you're already kind of like
right, the motion's there, it can't stop.
The motion's there. So yeah, you throw the stereo at them. Norman, Kyle, do you guys want to react in any way? And Zane, is there anything yet you do to react as well?
I picture myself just pulling out my glasses and putting them on my face as it's approaching the window. like my safety goggles.
I'll push him out of the way with myself included.
Like tackle him.
Yeah, I'll tackle him out of the way.
Kyle once again saves me, and all my thought is to put safety goggles on.
So you both, we'll say you both react by taking temporary cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a
I'd
regular
like to try
turn.
and hit it out of the air. I don't know how close we are
From
to
the
one another.
window? From outside of the window?
No, before it hits the window.
I picture
guess.
Jay like doing like a kick, like a super cool kick, but just missing completely, and then the radio just shatters in the window.
I'll take a light turn, and let's see. I'll perform brilliantly to an unnecessary magnature.
Okay, I was hoping you would go with that. Let me hit you with this as a response.
Jumping, spinning round kick to hit the thing out of the air.
Well, what's your intention? Because we already established that it goes through the window, so you can't prevent that.
Okay.
But what you can do, maybe you've turned and you see these two boys you've never seen before. You're like, oh man, they're gonna get hurt. Like glass is gonna shatter around them. And you're a powerful guy. You're a strong dude. What if we had you like kick the whole wall down? So the wall just like sort of falls around them in a pratfall style. So like the window actually just like part of
It's like a Buster Keaton movie.
Yeah, exactly. Part of it just falls around them, so the glass kind of lands in different parts of the house, of the structure, and not on them entirely. But you have now kicked the side of this house over.
Yeah,
and somehow blame it on me.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you to clean up your mess after I do that.
Okay, so let's give you a token for kicking the side of the house over. And yeah, do you want to deliver that fucking sassy line?
Yeah. Get your friends and clean up your mess.
All right. Anybody want to tack anything else onto that scene? I think we'll move on to something else to add a little more flavor. But do you guys rebuttal in any way, or Zane, do you just fucking walk off?
I'm just gonna walk off to where my bedroom used to be, or is, rather, because I assume Artie hasn't changed the bedroom. Hasn't gotten in there.
Walking off while there's a mess. Always counts on you for that, Dad.
Damn.
You're the one that made it.
I didn't ask to be born. You made this mess.
How do you guys, Norman, Kyle, how do you guys react to the dad term?
I just completely ignore it, and I'm just like, how did he kick that wall down?
All right, cool. We'll close that scene out. I'm thinking next. I'd like to do a little scene. I'm I've never tried this before, but it might be fun if I want to do a scene with the villains just to like set up shop a little bit. If anybody wants to join me in this, somebody could play Morgan Le Fay and somebody could play Vincent Claw alongside me, so I don't have to play 3 characters. Okay, cool. And then preceding that, I think it would be great to have a scene with the core team Good Times to sort of talk about like who's this new challenger, who's this new person.
Can I be Claw?
Sure.
You sound really fancy, right? And like well spoken.
Yeah, he's Tim Roth meets Tim Curry, so I would say put a little sauce on it, which is like you go your Vincent.
Like a ha ha ha.
Yes, that's very good. That's sort of exactly what I want. Anybody up for Morgan Le Fay? Helena Bonham Carter meets Ann Coulter.
I volunteer, Paul.
All right, fine.
Cool.
I don't know much about Aunt
The
Coulter.
villain.
Just be cold. Just be like a cold person. All right, so I think we open on a scene where Cassetrophy is in a recording studio. He's kind of standing there in front of the mic. And it's a very stylized scene. You get the sense that he's putting a lot of work into this, where he's just like bass, and you hear the he's like drums, and he just starts in the Elvis style that Chandler brought up, crooning to a 50s style tune, but it's also mixed with like trap music. I think he's really trying to blend a bunch of genres together that don't work, which is probably his thing within the show. So there's just this really like ear scratching, irritating sound. And he's in there by himself when Morgan Le Fay and Vincent Claw show up, probably to congratulate him on his most recent victory. So yeah. Let's go from there.
I say, Cassetrophy, you're sounding more brilliant by the minute. Ha ha! My ears are bleeding.
Charmed, I'm sure you know that comes a lot from you, or that means a lot coming from you, Mr. Claw, Master Claw. Yes. To what do I owe this visit? Congratulations.
Well, Miss Morgan Le Fay here has some words to speak with you.
Yes, while I would like to congratulate a job well done, they are very much still alive.
Yes, that the living problem. Quite.
Yes.
I'm sure you know as well as I do. Teenagers are very difficult to kill. It also doesn't help that, and I'm not sure you were aware of this. If you were aware of this, it also doesn't help that there seems to be a new player in the band, so to speak. A gold-gilded gentleman.
Zane, my former lover.
Oh my! Where did that come from? It's quite a development. Do you know the key to defeating this man? While I can handle these teenagers quite well, you know, a top 100 Billboard chart winning crooner such as myself can handle 3 teenagers, I'm a little afraid of an actual adult.
Why don't you give him your top hits?
Or write a song about how he has a son. He'll definitely flee for the hills.
Very good, very good. I'll get started right away. And we'll kind of phase out of that. So, weird addition to with the lover thing, Paul. Very good, but
hey man,
There's so much going on in this story.
When it hits you, when the movement hits you. Okay, cool. So yeah, we established the enemies are aware and are gonna put some extra time into some weird cassette tape or song to try and take care of Zane specifically. Let's cut to a scene with Kyle and Artie and Norman kind of all talking about this new development. So I think you guys are probably back at the comic shop. Like, a day has passed. Everybody went home afterwards. Kyle, your parents are probably a little worried about some of the scratches that you have on you. I don't know how you play that off. Maybe something spilled or broke at the comic shop.
Lots of paper cuts.
Yeah. I'll never understand why you are around that laminated paper. It's not right. There's something wrong about those 4 colors and the graininess, as it were. Just a lot of complaining about the quality of comic books.
My dad's like, I like the idea of comic books.
But he's never actually read one.
Yeah.
And Norman, you probably get home on your homemade Segway carrying a bunch of cassette tapes, and you forgot, but your brother's back home from school. So your parents actually have like a party set up that you missed. So you're coming in kind of late. There's leftover cake and like some bottles of champagne because he aced another semester. And you're coming home carrying a bunch of garbage. Dusty. And
I'm just walking up the walkway and cassettes keep falling out of my pockets. I'm like, oh, God damn it.
And I think your brother, Jackson, is sitting there, maybe having a cigarette. Shh, don't tell. Your parents don't know. But he's picked up smoking in college, trying to be cool. And he just goes, going for the retro thing now, huh? That the little punk orphan boys really, kind of taken, or you taken to that little punk orphan kid, referencing Artie. What's all this for? You know those things don't really work anymore, right?
Like, nah, man, they work. They're cool. All cool guys are dead. I gotta print a bunch of tapes. Leave me alone. You don't get it. I could leave this shit in a warehouse forever and it'll still work. I don't need some iPod. That hard drive will stop working.
Well, you are right. They last quite a bit, and I think he takes one from you and sort of hits it against the curb, and it doesn't really do any damage. He's like, yeah, but it's
not... go, yeah, see? They don't break that easy.
He goes, oh, yeah? And I think he, like, puts his cigarette in the middle of it, and it just burns, like, a little hole. The reel you see inside of it just kind of flares up and disappears. He's like, it's like, fucking make this work. And throws it back at you. All right, cool. That scene, your brother's an asshole. So the next day, you guys meet up at the comic shop. Maybe going, I'll let you guys decide whether or not you want to go in the elevator to the base to take a look at all your magical treasures, but you decide after that sort of house kicking apart that to meet back up at the comic shop and reconvene about who this new guy is, because Kyle and Norman, you still have no idea who this dude who kicks Artie's house apart is. You just saw him kick a wall and then was like, get out of here!
Clean up this mess.
Clean up this mess. What do you guys do? Let's have you walking into the shop.
I think we gotta talk to Niles. Maybe get his opinion on what to do. I don't know. Just thinking out loud.
I think we should walk in, and I'm like, yo, Artie, who the hell is that dude who kicked your roof down? And then you're like, first off, it was a wall.
First of all, let's get something straight. He didn't kick the roof off of a building.
Yeah, he's
pretty aggressive.
Yeah, aggressively absent for times when you really need him. He's
who is he? Like, what are you talking about?
He's...
You know this guy?
I do, and not only do I know him, he knows all of this. Niles, Excalibur, Morgan Le Fay, the dinosaurs. He knows it. He trained me, and he's my father, I think.
What? You have a dad?
Kyle.
Did we establish he's my dad? Sorry.
Go ahead. What was like?
Oh no, I wasn't sure if we're definitely locking in that he's my father.
I think so. You guys already have that weird dynamic.
Just call me Papa.
No.
Papa don't preach.
If Papa was Latin for never there, then yeah.
So jaded.
Kyle, Norman, how do you react to that news? Is there a turn or anything that you guys think could sort of make that news worse? Or
I'll take a light turn and say, do what's best for someone when they wouldn't agree. Wow. Weird dads, don't I know it?
So you're trying to sympathize.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
You put your hand on his shoulder. Weird dads.
Weird dad. And I don't think, I think while the sentiment is probably felt by Norman, Artie's just like, dad sucks still. Like,
Yeah.
you're trying to commiserate with him, and he's just like, what do you know? You've got the perfect family. At least they're there for you. And it just, like, doesn't really get to him at all.
Damn.
Paul, does that feel like an accurate reaction? Yeah, cool. Norman, how about yourself?
How am I reacting to finding out that that's his dad?
Yeah.
I'm just confused. Like, how does he have the powers? The Good Times was built 7 years ago.
You guys have been acting for 7 years.
So you're 13.
Well, no. So Good Times was built 7 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
On top of the site where we discovered all these secret treasures.
Well, Zane owns the building, and so he or the lot, you know, and yeah, he built the comic book shop because that was his only way of kind of enticing me to get in on the family business.
I like it.
But
yeah.
I work there.
What's up? Right, I was like, I don't want to do this, Dad. Get Kyle to do it.
But you don't work there. I work there. You don't work there.
Well, the family business of being a hero.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Someone's got to manage the store.
I can have someone else be like the manager and
Maybe
have
Mosquito
them
Man,
delegate employees.
Niles West, to build the store.
Niles West has a
his human
human
disguise.
alter ego where he looks like...
I picture him with...
Go ahead. Yeah, no.
I was going to say, I picture him with, like, a horrible human mask. And, like, he'll run the store, but he doesn't know anything about comic books. So, like, people will come in, and he's just wearing, like, a hoodie with, like, a shitty... like Halloween mask, and he's just like they're like, do you have the new issue of X-Men? And he's like, oh sure, and he just like walks around with his like weird bug hands.
I like, yeah.
No one thinks it's overly weird.
Grabs any random comic and like hands it to him, and it's all slimy and disgusting, and like, oh gross, where's Kyle?
And I left him in charge.
What I like about this
I
is...
left him in charge, and he hired Kyle over the internet to take over the role of working at the shop.
Yes, I like that. What I also like about this is that there are probably just empty containers of sugary drinks everywhere, because he's just like eating them with his schnoz, or his beak, whatever the technical term for mosquitoes is.
Proboscis.
Snout.
Proboscis?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for clarifying.
And thank you for knowing that.
Yeah, no, just thank you for your knowledge. You know what, game's over.
God damn it, I'm
Thanks,
supposed to be the
guys.
smart one, Kyle.
Kyle. I'm supposed to be the smart one. Cool. So yeah, it's established that Zane owns the lot. He's probably known Niles for a little while. If we want to get into that, I'm sure you guys can talk to Niles if you want. If you want to take the elevator and go down. I also want to see sort of where Zane is at, since he's not with this group. Jay, do you have any thoughts on where Zane might be? You're back in town for the first time in a while. The boy is back in town. Not the boys yet.
So it's been established that my wife is alive, right?
No.
Or was that decided or no?
No.
No.
All right, then I'd like to be at her grave then.
Oh my god. All right. Yep. So yeah, walk us through the scene. What do you?
That's way too intense. I'll just be on like cliffside staring at the ocean, kind of thinking about the times that I used to fight, protecting, and then there's something in here about running away from responsibility, I think, right? Yeah, disappearing in the face of danger. Just reminiscing about the time I did that.
So that
I don't know if that would count as a light turn.
That won't count as a
just
light
be
turn
memory.
because you're not in danger.
Right, but it's just in true sense of the character. So, like, in one of my fights with Morgan Le Fay, things weren't going overly well for the team. Everyone got axed, and I just ran.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you were part of a former team of Good Time boys, and they all got fucking murdered, and now you're seeing your son and his two friends sort of take up the mantle. Okay, yeah, no, I'm into that. So I'll just write that down. Zane saw his former comrades
Get fucked up.
get murdered and disappeared. Okay, I like that. That's good. So, start thinking about what you were doing in that time away since you've been gone, and like, since you've been gone, and why, why have you come back? Yeah.
I've been traveling the world trying to learn about all the technologies that are around and figure out the monster's weaknesses, or what monster weaknesses there could be, and training myself to be able to combat them better.
Yeah.
In the flashiest way possible.
And you're probably surprised too, coming back to see that the monster that destroyed your team was actually destroyed by a new team. So like, there's a whole new set of monsters. It's been a few years for you probably. So
right. 8-track was the one before.
Laserdisc. But it's with a Z instead of an S, so you know he's evil.
Laserdisc.
Laserdisc killed your family, which is hopefully will become the subtitle for this
Killed
episode.
the entire family.
Laserdisc killed your wife. I'm gonna make that canon right now.
Yeah, killed your wife, killed the previous team.
Was the wife on the previous team?
My wife was on the team.
Yeah, she was like the old Pink Ranger or something.
Yeah,
Pink
I
Hero.
like that a lot. Pink Hero.
I feel like maybe you
I was
owned like
thinking
a
former Yellow and sacrificed herself with her, because Ankylosaurus shield broke and everything went away.
I don't know her dead chick's outfit.
Not wearing her outfit, but like, I don't know.
You're wearing her badge.
Aren't we all just
You look
wearing?
just like her.
Aren't we all just wearing dead people's outfits?
No, we're wearing new people outfits.
Okay, yeah, no, I like this backstory.
I like to think you were like you own like a small excavating company, and you own this plot of land, and you're like, maybe I'll just build like a place to put my truck, and then you like crunch in, and like a well opens up and falls down, and that's where you found the shaft, and then a bunch of mosquitoes flew out instead of bats, like in Batman. And that's when you first went down and met Niles West, or whatever.
Niles West.
Niles West.
That's his name.
I like that we're all having trouble with his name. Like it's so weird.
There's somebody named Artorias on this team, but that's the tricky one.
Or catastrophe,
yeah.
which I still struggle with.
We fell down during excavation, and we used like a road flare to light up the area, and Niles West was in a giant thing of amber that we touched, and as somebody else was like dusting things off, things lit up, and the amber came out, and Niles West came out. And it was just like, oh, what's going on?
I'm gay.
I didn't want to say it, but
I'm coming out.
he came out. And he just goes, "Hey, nice to meet you." I'm gonna make him Jersey. I'm Niles West. I'm also gay.
I like to go for a nice summer reach sandwich. You know what I'm saying?
Just want to get it all out on the table so you know what you're getting into.
That
It may look
Niles.
like a giant mosquito, but I can suck more than blood.
Hey!
I like Niles way more now. I like this weird New Yorker gay mosquito guy we got going on.
I don't have a lot of character voices, so it's either flamboyant or New Yorker.
Why not both?
Good range.
Why not both? We're getting
New
there.
Yorker.
Cool. Thank you for that backstory. I liked where that all came out. I think as you're sitting overlooking the ocean on one of the many cliffs that this seaside community has, as you're reminiscing, you're probably not as aware of your surroundings because you start to hear sort of faint echoes of bass and drums in the background. I kind of want to find music.
Just like boom, 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 boom.
But it's
Yeah.
also got some trumpet because he likes
Yeah.
mixing weird like 40s music.
I can't do
Yeah.
both.
Well,
That's
okay,
out of country.
well, do that, and then everybody let's join in. And Catastrophe shows up. He's on the horizon, and you see him show up. He's just like, Zane, I presume? Presume? I said that wrong. I'm a bit tongue-tied. I've been working on a new track.
Well, your beats are a little too new for me.
I'll give you a beat, and he throws a few, like, eggs out, and they turn into little men. So, in Super Sentai, there's usually, like, foot soldier characters, which we forgot to establish as a part of the villain, so I'm just going to throw something out there. So there's little, like, think about a Mario character where the egg is the body, where like this guy kind of springs out, so his legs come out of the bottom half of the egg. It breaks in a Charlie Brown zigzag there, and the top of the egg here. And it's just got like little mean eyes, but really big buff arms.
So kind of like that Digimon.
Yeah,
Yeah, Digitamamon.
yeah, just like Digitamamon.
But Digitamamon with arms.
Digitamamon with arms. So these little egg babies start coming after you, and you are getting attacked. So prepare for some combat. Take a look at some turns, and you have 2 tokens. But let's do a quick scene with the rest of the boys. So you're in the comic shop. You're in Good Times Comics. You're having this conversation and trying to console Artie about the fact that his dad is now back in town. And Niles West sort of like peeks his head out. He's not in his disguise, but you see like the tip of the proboscis coming out of the elevator door. He just goes, "Hey guys, hey guys."
What's the
Yeah,
matter,
what's
you?
up, Niles?
Don't make fun of me. Hey, come on. Don't make fun of me. I'm trying to get your attention because something's going on. There's an egg baby sighting. Calling them egg babies. There's an egg baby sighting. It's weird. It shouldn't be happening.
No. Is anyone in danger?
Yeah, I don't know. We gotta get you over there. It's by the cliffs. It's by the public beach.
All right, guys, let's get the segues together. I made segues for everyone.
Yeah, of course you did. They're color coordinated.
Can these like segues like come together and just make like a mega segue?
they can click together,
Just make
but
a
we're all just elbow to elbow, and they don't turn that well. But they're 3 times as fast.
Yes.
So we're just flying down this like coastal town with these 3 segways clicked together, but not being able to turn that sharp.
Just fucking blaring down the street. Everyone's like, that's a weird mix of green, blue, and yellow. I don't know what country they're trying to represent.
Brazil.
So yeah, I love So yeah, you just sort of drive on over. Cool. So it takes you a little bit to get over there. So Jay, let's have you take a turn. You are surrounded by, I think, like 6 egg babies and cassetrophes there. What do you do? What do you want to do?
They're attacking me now, right?
Yeah. Well, they're about to. You can see them kind of gearing up. But yeah, one of the egg babies starts rushing towards you.
I'm going to use one of my tokens to transform.
All right. Let's get into it. So yeah, as I said before, the rule of thumb that I like to play with is the first person who transforms gets to kind of set what the sequence looks like, the transformation sequence looks like. So Jay, that responsibility falls on you. You'll also get to describe what your suit aesthetic looks like. What is that hat that you're showing everybody?
Heavy black, but I was basically making this the transformation thing because all of us are doing backwards hats.
Are you all okay? So point of order, and this could be a great retrofit. Are you all wearing backwards hats in the game? Or is every one of those characters wearing a backwards hat?
No, that's terrible.
Okay, that's fair.
Dino Bros.
It would fit your shitty dad aesthetic really well if you were wearing a backwards hat.
Right. I thought that'd be funny real quick. I'll go... fuck me. I'll just go like that.
Paul's face. Are you gonna say something? You got your color, you got Spinosaurus. You need some sort of like call sign to yell out.
I didn't know there was like an incantation too. Spinosaur Gold, activate.
Cool, I like it.
Ooh.
Woo.
Wow.
So you've transformed.
Okay. I transform. A lot of glitter. I strike a magnificent pose with like my hand on my face and one arm up like this. And I'm going to take a turn to display dazzling fighting technique, and I'm going to try and teep one of the egg boys and make it into a spinning kick into, or rather a roundhouse kick into one of the other ones next to him.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think you can just do that since it is a regular turn. You may always display dazzling fighting technique. Can you talk, as you're doing that, let's paint a scene with a bit more of the suit features. So all this fucking glitter came out of there. What does your suit look like? How are the Spinosaurus elements incorporated into it?
So the Spinosaurus element is incorporated into it with the fin on the back of it being my weapon, which is a whip sword that I would take out from behind. So it's the blade is the curvature. The helmet is kind of diagonally pointed where the mouth is, so it looks like an open mouth there. And then the eyes are like right above for the most part, so it's not too elongated. And it's like black and gold. Most like the gloves are gold. The arm underneath is black for the main morph part, and then it's got like a shiny vest.
Thank you.
Yeah, just mixture of black and gold with like triangle every other with shoulder pad on top, kind of like a vest that goes over the shoulders a bit.
Nice. Cool. I like that. So yeah, you display this impressive fighting technique, or dazzling fighting technique, probably with some residual transformation energy sort of flying off of your fist.
Oh yeah, there are sparkles.
There are sparkles. And Norman, Kyle, and Artie, you guys see those sparkles, this sort of like sheen, this wave of energy come off that you normally wouldn't see from the ocean as you roll up with your interconnected segways. It just like you just see this like as a egg baby is thrown, roundhouse kicked into another one, and they both sort of, the eggs close up and disappear, which is how they disappear when they're defeated. And yeah, you are now in awe of a gold hero, something that you guys have not seen a metallic color or version of yourselves before. How do you react?
Wow, you'll make him fight. Did not see that coming. Did not look that nimble.
Can I get one of those suits?
I feel like I'm just more... I'm more just like, where did the glitter come from? There's got to be some tech involved in this glitter that's making them kick these egg dudes' asses so easy. Remember the first time we fought those egg dudes? We got messed up.
Yeah. Thanks for the trip down memory lane. Maybe we should go help them.
Yeah, that's I like that. I like that idea. And yeah, let's actually kick things off with you, Norman, since you're so curious about where this gold energy is coming from. So the way combat works in this game is it's heavily reliant on turns. Everybody has some tokens to play around with for the heavy turns for the most part. If you want to do anything, I'll just read them off real quick so everyone's aware. Blue, you have a token. Or Norman, you have a token. Kyle, you have 2. Artie, you have 2. And Gold, you still have 1. So we'll go around kind of person by person and talk about what you want to do. There's 4 egg babies left, and there is Cassetrophy, if you guys want to try and fuck with him, but I'm sure you're all pretty scared of him at this moment. Or you're still sort of reeling in the years of that issue, or the last fight that you had with him. Yeah, I think Cassetrophy looks over at you guys. And he's just like, oh, back for another encore? Remix! Yeah, he pushes a button on his wrist communicator, and a little speaker from his elbow just goes, remix!
Oh, I thought it was going to be a...
Not yet. We'll get to... That's more rap. He's not in that genre yet. So...
Oh, okay.
He's getting there.
So yeah, Norman, given the situation with this new gold gilded member and your adversary standing in front of you, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna construct something dangerous.
Okay.
So I saw the sparkles in the kick, so I assume it's some kind of technology based thing. So I pull out of the back pocket. I have a bunch of like really dangerous like batteries I built that are like, it's kind of like those vape pens that used to explode in people's pockets, but like I soldered like a bunch of them together, and I'm like, so something with sparkling glitter and a kick is killing these things. So I take this battery and I like shove a bunch of wires and crap into it, and like I have a random like weapon glitter in my other pocket, and I shove it together, and then I throw it up and I kick it towards the egg people.
Okay.
And like it blows up. I picture.
Well, hold on.
I just picture blown up.
Hold on. So if you're gonna do that, I'll throw this out there because I love this idea, and I love that we're somehow incorporating glitter as like a secondary element into everybody's thing. So yeah, use glitter wherever the fuck you want. If you do this, I love this idea. It will break Gold's transformation because he's in the blast radius. So it would knock him back as well, potentially like off the cliff if we wanted to do that. He could hang on. It wouldn't be like, you know, you wouldn't be knocking him into the ocean, but you would break him out of his transformation just being like, ugh! So if you want to, you'll gain a token by doing that, but Jay, you'll have to take that consequence and we'll play that out next turn.
I mean, it's up to him, so
I think we should go for it. There's a good
I
learning.
don't have any say.
There's a good learning opportunity in this.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm going to reprimand you for it verbally.
Yeah. So I love this. So you gain a token as you throw this fucking weird battery stuffed with glitter, and it explodes, and I think it takes out, we'll say, 3 of the 4 egg babies. Or actually no, 2, because I want the other guys to be able to do some stuff as well too. It knocks out 2 of the 4 egg babies, and they kind of fly back. Their shells actually shatter and crack a little bit, which you're like, yeah, like I found something else to totally knock them out. But it also, the blast radius hits Zane, and he is flown back to the edge of the cliff. He breaks, your transformation breaks, so that gold suit is now gone. You're back in your 3-piece suit, which is now kind of dirtied by the dirt around you.
And I'm like, Papa, no!
Now you care.
Now you care. Cool. Great. I love that. Artie, what do? You see Norman throw this fucking bomb in your dad's direction, and 2 of the egg babies are gone, but catastrophe, never gonna get that. And 2 more egg babies remain. And you have 2 tokens. What would you like to do?
Let's see here, and now and just a quick question about the game. So I'm going off of like the options for the turns off my character sheet.
Yes, heavy turns you can use, regular turns and light turns. So anything there.
Okay, I am going to. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. Actually,
and if you need time, we can always move on to Kyle too. Chandler, if you have a idea in mind.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take action. I'm gonna do a regular turn. I'm gonna take action, leaving myself vulnerable.
Okay. Describe what that action looks like, and I'll reveal the vulnerability.
So I will. Let's see here. I'm gonna take out. One of my trusty sighs.
Okay.
That when I swing it around, there's like a trail of glitter as well.
Okay. Yep.
That's genetic.
I'll try, or at least maybe try to take out one of the egg babies.
Cool.
Because I know that Dad wouldn't want me to go running after him. He wanted me to take simple action. I'm trying to display what I've learned.
Yeah. So yeah, let's say this. I think you take one of your size. Well, are you able to access your size when you're not transformed? Because you have not transformed, my dear boy.
No,
so
no, but like any 80s badass teenager, I just got one in my back pocket.
Sure, I like that. Okay, yeah, you
I was like, no.
And everyone's like, what the fuck?
I feel like the difference should be that your regular size don't glitter, but your suit ones do.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, that works. I that's not the vulnerability or the consequence of your turn, but yeah, no, I think that's fair. No glitter if you're not transformed. You can't be a glitter boy if you can't transform.
That's fair.
Well, that actually doesn't apply to what Norman just did.
Mine was
But
just
his is
like
tech oriented.
Here's the thing. Let's compromise this. He bedazzled his size. So he like dipped them in glitter. So they're not
rhinestones.
It's not magical glitter, but it has the appearance of just like, damn, that shit looks good. Like,
It doesn't leave a vaporwave.
I'll throw this out there. Maybe this is what Zane was trying to teach me, was that there is a way for me to harness that energy without having to morph. And I'm just now coming up to like the precipice of that, or just at the threshold of that untapped power that I was so reluctant to learn. I'm just spitballing, so I mean we can trash that idea.
No, I like that idea, and it kind of plays into my. So we'll do kind of a regular turn with some of those consequences mixed in. So no token exchange will happen here, but yeah, let's say the words of your father echo within your head, and you're like, oh yeah, like shit, maybe there's a simple approach to be able to do this, and
maybe Zane on the side be like, that's my boy.
That's and your sides start to glow a bit with the glitter you guys have become so accustomed to. It's not annoying now, and it's still everywhere, but you're fine. And it glows, and
Can't I just be on the cliffside just yelling that at him?
What
like the voice in his head is actually just me, huh? Like
yes. Yes. I think you
just yelling it over and over.
You slash one of the egg babies, and everyone's a little surprised. They're like, "Whoa, you use that without transforming!" But you are now with your back faced to Cassetrophy, who starts gearing up his remix sound blaster on his wrist.
Yeah.
Kyle, what are you up to? You see your friends in action, taking out egg babies and leaving themselves vulnerable and fucking blowing up this new competition who's your friend's dad. What do you want to do?
Oh man, well I have like two choices. I can go help Artie or go help Zane. They're both gonna probably die, so this is hard.
Well, Zane's old as fuck. He's probably not gonna survive.
Just go help Artie. I'm experienced. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You good.
That's what you want us to think. Everyone needs help. Let's see. I will address the immediate problem with a level head. I'll spend a heavy turn.
Okay. Oh wow.
Let's see.
How
Shit's getting real.
Shit's getting real. All right, yeah. I'm happy to let you do that. How do you do that? What do you address? The immediate problem is probably the fact that catastrophe is here.
Yes.
Catastrophe.
Yeah, so I guess I will try to get Artie away from catastrophe. Maybe I can distract him. I can ask to listen to his mixtape.
Okay. Okay.
Wait, I want to listen.
So I'll do that. Buying Artie some time to get away.
Thanks, bro.
How do you... Okay, let's think about it, and maybe, Jay, you can help resolve this. How do we address it so that catastrophe is gone at the end of this scene? I think I'd like to have Jay take a turn, and we'll kind of maybe take a break after that. But let's address that immediate concern by getting him to leave the fucking premises. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that if catastrophe use their ribbon to grab one of them, I would take my spine or whip sword out and cut the line, so that way he's injured and isn't able to play his music and has to heal up before coming back again.
Okay.
Showing that simple problems or the greatest strength can still be the greatest weakness.
Should I switch mine to what's a creative solution to work this out? Is that more in line?
I'm trying to think. I mean, obviously, I want you guys to. It's up to you, whatever choice you want to make. I do like the mixtape idea of just yo, let me hear that mixtape, or maybe you start beatboxing with him. I don't know if that's something you feel comfortable doing. I did like the idea of sort of approaching fighting fire with fire. Do you have your own mixtape, Kyle?
Sure.
And maybe that's the real contention with his family. It's not the comic book store, it's his whole music career.
Really?
He just wants to rap about comic books.
Have you considered comics?
He just wants to rap about his friends and having good times at good times.
Let me see what my character can do real quick.
Let's let's play it out this way. I do like the idea that Kyle, you approach Catastrophe and you say like, hey, yo, let me hear that mixtape. I actually really want to hear it finally. Like, you're powerful, you sort of like, you took us to task, you know what you're doing. Let me just fucking hear that mixtape, dude.
I'm trying to get like you, man.
Yeah. And he's like into it. He's he actually like, he stops attacking. He's like, yo, what? He's like,
really?
He's like, really? He's like, oh, wait, you know people? I gave him the wrong voice. He's just like, he's like, oh yes. He's like, I've been working on a new track, and let's all sort of get on this. He's like, let me break you off with a little piece of this remix. And he is decidedly like distracted as he takes you through this new piece. So yeah, you're addressing that immediate problem of danger, allowing Artie to get out of there and maybe allowing Zane to focus on a counter attack of sorts. But you're standing there kind of like jamming with him. He's just like, oh, he's like, here come the horn parts.
I love how it kind of sounds like Pops now.
Yeah. Shit,
I love it.
Yeah. So yeah, Zane, you got knocked back. Your son killed one of the egg babies. You transformation got broken, and all of a sudden a dance party is playing out. As you see this young man dancing with one of these horrid creatures. What do you do?
Can I throw myself up from cliffside? Doing a front flip.
Sure.
To land. And then take a regular turn to try to be a one-person army.
Okay.
And do some damage.
Sure, yeah, that sounds good. So yeah, you flip up, everybody's distracted. Let's talk about that damage you want to do.
I want to hit him in the back and say, I liked your old stuff better.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot. So yeah, he's dancing, he's pretty distracted. You come up, is it just like a shoulder slam, or like you'd sort of hit him across the head?
Be landing into a straight right punch, I guess.
Gotcha. Crow, yeah, you
to try and like knock him over and hurt him that way.
Yeah, I think you effectively do that. When he just falls fucking like flat on his face, or whatever face he has.
Can't get up because he's flat.
Well, he's got arms and a staff, so he's able to get up. But you, I think in the wake of him like debuting a new track, he's actually pretty sensitive about his music. And you saying you liked his older stuff, especially being an older guy too. I think that sentiment hits him a bit harder.
He's like, that old stuff, that implies I'm old.
Yeah, he's just like, he's like, there's no dust on my cover yet. And I think he disappears, feeling a bit threatened, and like you shook his confidence. So yeah, you guys have feigned off catastrophe by distracting him by actually listening to his music, and then taking a sneak attack, revealing some feelings weaknesses.
Okay, I'm confused now. Is it catastrophe or cassetrophy?
Cassetrophy.
Cassetrophy.
Okay.
I'm having trouble with that.
Okay.
Cassetrophy.
I just want to make sure I have it like written down right.
So yeah, he's gone, and you're all standing on that cliffside, having rescued Zane, but having seen him transform. So there's further revelation to this mystery of who is this man. He's not just Artie's dad. He's one of you.
I feel like Jay's character should be upset at us that none of us transformed. We all tried to just do stupid shit.
I like that. So,
yeah, I'll take a light turn.
Well, hold on.
No, never mind.
Well, I like that as an angle. Here's what I'd like to propose, if it's at all possible. I'd like to take a quick break just because we've been playing for a little bit, give everyone a chance to
Use the bathroom.
Have a 5-minute breather. Then maybe we can come back and have a scene like that where he's upset with you guys for not taking the simple route with transforming. And really trying to like actually take care of the problem. I mean, you just indulge this guy by listening to his music, and that's what he is all about. And then I'd like to focus on that with the intention of like coming to a resolution or a common understanding. So we'll probably do another fight scene, maybe a scene with the mechs to get you guys back on track. But let's have some opposing ideologies. Maybe is the frame I'd like to put this in. Does that sound good to everyone?
Yeah.
Sure.
Cool. All right. Sounds good. We'll be back in 5 or so.
I'll be back.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Henshin, a Sentai RPG through Chrono Speakeasy. This is, I'm not doing your call sign because it feels inappropriate. This is Wednesday Comic Book Club. No. This is Team Good Times, actually, is what we're playing. Is what the subtitle of this this one shot is. Everybody do the thumbs up like everybody else did. Yay!
Yeah.
Someone was messaging me about their upcoming fight.
Get off your phone.
I'm friends with.
I'm
Sorry,
We're
my
playing
phone is
a
how
game.
we're
This
looking at
family.
my phone is how I'm looking at my special turns and whatnot.
Ugh.
How convenient.
Jay, like every millennial, doesn't interact with paper.
I don't have a printout.
You don't have a weird velociraptor drawn on your.
Nice.
I love
I
that.
tried to get a monocle, but it just showed up like an eyeball.
Oh, don't
I
they
have
always?
paper. See?
So
But it's just for like small detail stuff, not the heavy turns and whatnot.
I so rarely get to say this, but when last we left our heroes, they had just fought the monster of the week, so to speak, Cassetrophy.
Cassetrophy.
A Liberace-esque
Cassette
villain who creates a series of remixes in the hopes of damaging people's ears. Paul, you have a cool idea?
I just maybe had thought of an idea on how we could defeat him.
Oh, great. Hold that.
Sweet.
Hold those horses. We'll get to that in a moment. The last scene we did, if you didn't catch it, was everybody was fighting on a cliff. Zane, played by Jay the Gold Ranger, was ambushed by Cassetrophy and some egg babies, which are the underlings that we just came up with. And the rest of the team, Norman, Kyle, and Artie, all rode a triple Segway, over to the cliff. Threw a bomb to solve the problem, breaking Zane's transformation, listening to the mixtape and revealing some hidden potential in Artie's case with his size, but leaving himself vulnerable to attack. I'd like to pick up off after that scene with everybody back at the Good Times comic book shop, including our custodian of power, giant mosquito, Niles West. And as I said before the break, you guys, the Team Good Times, did not transform at all to solve the problem. You actually kind of haphazardly threw a bunch of spaghetti at the wall to see what would work. And Zane, you tried to take correctly, I think the most straightforward course of action by transforming and actually like showing some prowess in your fighting technique. So I'd like to just sort of open it up in an open dialogue situation to a debate, probably leading with Zane being like, "What the fuck was that? Like, what a ludicrous display of power." So as we go through this, feel free to lean on those heavy turns and the light turns, as we still have some tokens available for play or to get. But yeah, let's throw it in there. Jay, do you want to kick us off with some harsh words?
What were you kids doing out there? That was an absolutely disgraceful performance. It looks like you didn't even try and do anything whatsoever. And the things you did do ended up costing each other dearly.
Right, but it's kind of your fault, only because we'd never seen Gold Glitter move like that, so if anything, we were kind of distracted. But in your act of heroism and showing off your fighting prowess, you've gained, I think, all of our respect, and we're willing to, you know, maybe kind of follow you, and, you know, I might even let go of the absent father shit go.
That was a pretty dope glitter kick.
Yes.
And yeah, that bomb was pretty
We need to get you kids to start using
effective.
your heads more. All right,
Well, I think
to
we
teach you
we used our heads
how
initially.
to actually fight.
And I think at this point, Niles West kind of like saunters up a little bit. He's just like, "Do I smell a training montage?"
Now you're a man.
It was so good I wasn't actually drinking at that moment.
Kyle, is there any?
Could I raise that the last time we tried to fight head on while transformed, we got our asses kicked, so I think it was important to try a different approach and maybe try to reason.
So you think that you can reason with those monsters?
Well, we know that now.
How many monsters did we take out without transforming? Huh?
I literally don't know.
3.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to that last one?
He's probably running back to
Meanwhile-
Morgan Le Fay right now, telling you
Egg
what went
Baby
down.
is walking around town.
No, he's probably like, Master.
I thought I took out 3 of them.
Or
was it only 2?
No, you took out 2 of them. Then Norman took out 2, and then Artie took out 1. So there was 1 remaining.
Okay.
He's having a like 90s treat yourself day where he's out on the town and it's like, look around the world, pretty baby.
And baby's day out.
Eating pizza, just like hanging out down by the beach.
Yeah, but then a seagull fucking picks him up.
The other way it dies is by living a fulfilled life.
Yeah.
Save Egg Baby.
Save Egg Baby. Egg Baby's
Side
day out.
campaign.
Cool.
I go, we couldn't kill him, but a seagull can pick him up.
There's some big ass seagulls, man.
Yeah, we don't know the world. We haven't established that yet. There's some big seagulls.
Yeah, there's one big seagull whose mom was an eagle. It's weird.
Okay.
So, it sounds like Norman and Kyle, you kind of had a difference of opinion about how to move forward. I want to figure out, based on this discussion, where you guys want to go, because there's a few different routes we could go down.
So I don't want to be like overtly pacifist. Like, we don't always have to fight. That's like kind of lame. But maybe just trying to be like more creative and not always just try to like head on, like, you know, fire with fire.
Is there?
I think we need to fight as a team. Maybe we're tackling things individually. We need to come together.
Chandler, is there a turn or anything, light or a regular, that you could take a look at?
It might be like a do what's best for someone. No, let's see.
Overcommit might be good because you could stand your ground, and that would sort of paint a road for Kyle specifically, but that might ostracize you if everyone else decides to go under Zane's tutelage. So that's something to think about, but it would gain you another token. Similarly, Artie and Norman, is there a turn or anything that you feel like fits the opinion of what you guys are hearing from Zane? And Zane, is there anything that you'd like to do turn-wise? Let's sort of go round robin again. Is that right?
I'd like to use a regular turn to model the utmost finesse and expertise.
What is?
I get no. What? I should wait and do that until like any actual training montage.
Also, maybe wait. We'll have you go last and wait and see what these guys had to say after how they react, because you're.
I mean, I can take a light turn and let a secret side mission take precedent.
Oh, we haven't gotten to that at all.
No. No, we haven't.
Maybe save that for a later Zane episode. What, are you trying to exhume your wife? I don't know. Did I guess it?
Bring her back.
Did I guess it? Jay?
What? Oh, no.
All right.
What? No.
Norman, what's up?
I didn't even think about my wife anymore.
Let me see, move-wise. I think I should point out the obvious to another. it's obvious that cassetrophy. Every time I say that name, I almost say a different thing.
See, it's hard, right?
It is hard, but I think it's obvious that we need to distract him with his own music again, and then that's when we strike. Clearly, some glitter needs to be involved because that shit's working. Maybe not use my bombs, but I think we're on the right track here.
I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot. That being said, I do want to point out this is something that we can resolve as well. Your Zord is not exactly capable of doing such a thing like that right now. Or you could do it without your Zord or transformed, but that's probably a problem set that you'll need to work towards. Everyone's like, yeah, cool, that makes sense, but you're just like, but how do we fucking do that?
Guys, I think that part of maybe what we can do to defeat this cassetrophy, maybe he's like Rumpelstiltskin. If we all say his name right, he'll finally get the acknowledgement he craves and it will go away.
If you say it 3 times, though, he appears.
Well, yeah. Maybe throw some glitter while we're saying it.
Maybe we can get him a record deal.
What if it was like Powerpuff Girls when the clown was black and white, and then the power of love and music brought color back into his world?
Okay.
That's not my actual suggestion, but
Is that the Beatles
I
episode?
just like the idea of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't the Beatles episode. That was the clown. They're the clown that lost all of his color from bleach, that became black and white and became a mime. And everything was silent.
He watched anime and his power is gone. Anyway.
He watched Attack on Titan.
No, he watched Bleach, you dummy.
Sorry.
It's right there.
Yeah, I didn't think of it.
Paul, you were saying.
I'm sorry.
That was literally like all I had, because it sort of fit. We were having trouble saying this name throughout the entire episode. Maybe that can be sort of part of his arc, is like just getting acknowledgement for his music and being cited appropriately.
Interesting. Okay, yeah. I like all these angles of basically what seems like you guys just want to acknowledge his music in some way, right? And that
he's a hurt artist. He's a tortured soul.
He'll either get out of there or create enough of an opening for you to kill him.
Yeah.
Oh, what we could do is have a venue set up for him to draw him in, but not have actual people.
Well, I think we do, in fact, need a training montage.
Yes. So, Jay,
right.
Zane, let's have you take your turn hearing these
Kyle, what are you
creative solutions.
Wait, what's Kyle gonna do?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
God, such a Kyle.
It's typical Kyle.
Typical Kyle. So distracted.
Yeah, let's do the overcommit, but like this is more in terms of just like, hey, we like
Well, so it's interesting because Norman and Artie seem to be in line with.
Oh, okay, I missed that part. So I guess.
Right? I don't mean to speak out of turn, but it seems like you guys are like, oh, there's a creative solution, or like maybe this is the direct solution.
Yeah, well, I was leaning more towards like the creative solution because like what I did before worked, so like I would like to do that some more, but not like I guess we can. I guess that's kind of like going more towards like, we don't have to like solve all our problems with violence, but like that's not cool for right now. So yeah, creative solution. Let's try to create an opening by getting him to like, do the music thing.
I have an idea, if I can sort of meld minds here.
Yes.
You guys have a creative solution for how to, like, distract and stop him, and Zane, it seemed like at the end of the last session you revealed a potential, like, weak point. Maybe there's a weak point on cassetrophy that you know about that could actually, like, break the cassette. Maybe there's a training montage where we can sort of bring those things together. Does that sound good to everyone? Does that make sense?
Yes.
I'm down.
Because it's gonna be a montage.
Montage. All right, let's get into this.
We're all in perfect harmony.
Montage.
We're like Africa.
Toto, if you will. All right, let's get into this montage then. I think you see Niles West shows up, and he's in like 80s running gear. He's got very short shorts, so he's got spindly mosquito lights that are coming out.
In my head.
I love it. It's so good.
He's got a white shirt that says like gym on it, but it's spelled incorrectly because he's never been to an actual gym. He's got.
Wait. So, Niles West is a male mosquito, right? So he's like super gangly.
Yeah, he's like.
And doesn't actually suck blood.
He's like comedic relief gangly.
Okay, just making sure he doesn't actually suck blood.
No, he drinks nectar.
And he's also.
Right.
He's interested in human males, so. We established this.
He does,
Oh yeah, I've
does
totally
more than
forgot
suck
that.
blood.
Yeah, he does more than suck blood.
Right.
He sucks feelings. He's an emotional vampire. Okay, so
That's why he loves this group.
so he's there. He puts on a record. There's like a record scratch, and he puts a new record on, and it's something in the vein of, and we'll sort of go around and everyone can describe little vignettes of what you're doing. I would like it if you describe kind of the group, maybe like a group mentality, and just throw some funny shit there. But the music is kind of in the vein of like, everyone's watching to see what you do.
That everybody's working for the weekend.
Yeah. Everyone's looking at you. And I think he does that. He sort of does the hammer. He points to you guys. And you're all wearing the same matching outfit as him, so it's the short shorts. It's a shirt that just says gym on it.
But color coordinated.
So yeah, Norman described to us the first of our 4 training sequence scenes.
Well, I picture the one that focuses around Norman. We're in like a classroom, and I'm pointing at like a chalkboard that just has a bunch of like really dumb like math equations, but also like music signs, and then a really crappy stick figure drawing of cassetrophy, and then glitter ? And then underneath it says, "Should we morph?" ? Underlined 3 times. And then it cuts to the audience, and then Artie and Kyler are like shaking their head in agreement, and Zane is just in the back, just like, motherfuckers, these goddamn kids.
Goddamn kids. Yes, I love it. All right, Artie.
Oh, I'm thinking.
We can come back to you if you want.
It just feels like him and Zane hugging. Like just doing like father son, like playing catch. all like the stereotype, like making up for lost time.
How is this gonna help you
countdown.
guys take care of catastrophe?
Be a united front. Learn to be a family.
Okay.
Combat montage.
No, so
I just think it's funny. There's all this like training, and then just being like, "Oh, father son catching. Let's talk about birds and the bees." This is awkward, but okay.
So yeah, maybe you're.
Yeah, your girlfriend was murdered while you were having sex on a train trail.
Well, they had sex and then she got murdered because he left to go get, I don't know, power bars.
Victor Claude.
Yeah.
Driving his Victorian era train.
But that has a bunch of dinosaur elements all over it. Okay, so yeah, I like this. Like, you're trying to. I think Artie, now seeing his father in a new light, is like trying to instill all this make up for lost time by like playing catch and like they're arm wrestling, but everyone else is like trying to get in on it too. Like your dad beats you, and then
like, is Artie gonna actually train and do something hard? It's like, shut up, Kyle. I'm bonding.
Like, kind of picture, like, yeah, what's you're all about teamwork, but
making
just
up for
paying
time.
attention to your dad. you're like watching the Fast and the Furious movies, and every time Vin Diesel says family, you're just like, ah.
So every 2 seconds.
Well,
Exactly.
that and maybe there could be like some bits about like what we were discussing earlier about how he can train me to kind of tap into the glitter power without having to like morph. Because there was talk about earlier in the episode about kind of doing this like training that I was reluctant to do and couldn't see the glittery light or whatever. So maybe that can kind of be a part of it as well.
Yeah, I like that.
Why not? Because I have the royal
Mowing the grass,
ally,
we're mowing the lawn together. We're trying to fix up the house.
we're fixing that broken
Yeah,
wall.
you guys all collectively lift that broken wall up.
mhm.
I like. Hold on, if I can tack something on for the glitter, you see, you're all standing there, and Zane just comes up to you. And he's got a fucking like kit, like a little makeup kit, and he swabs glitter and puts it on all of your faces, and so then puts them on his like very sort of 80s pop star.
God,
You guys are all training with these like glitter masks.
We're just like summoning our inner Ziggy Stardust.
Yeah, and it's helping you like tap into your inner glitter, but everyone who sees you is just like, what's with this like 80s pop group that's like fixing a house? Like all right,
Yes.
Jay, what was your idea?
I was gonna say teach them, or like try and educate them on the past and stuff like that, and how previous members have tapped into their potential and stuff like that.
Okay, do you want to do like a campfire style scene?
Yeah,
Okay,
tell stories, blah blah blah.
making s'mores.
Talk about Reese's s'mores. Specifically, I want that diabetes.
Exotic.
I like to think that Artie is like pulls out a bag of marshmallows, and you're just like, no, and like are like Hershey's, and you're just like, no, swipe them out, and then you're like Reese's. Yeah, I'm into that.
You grew up, boy.
So yeah, you're educating them, and there's probably like, a la the Midnight Society. There's a reference I'm sure you guys love. You're like throwing glitter onto the fire, and like all these other animal spirits, and like a bunch of
different colored glitter shows different paths.
yeah. So you are educating them on like, this is how we used to do things, and like morphing is important. Yeah, I like that. I think that
Morphing is very important.
I think that
Should we morph?
should we morph? I think that adds.
And you're just like, yes.
Yeah. I think that
Like, this entire training montage is just to convince you to morph.
I think that
And fix your
adds
Zords.
adds quite a bit. All right, Kyle, Chandler, take us home with the final piece.
Is it too late to like for a comedic one?
No, I'd love to end on a funny note.
Great. In an effort to better relate to catastrophe, I'm going to teach Norman and Artie how like kind of freestyle and rap for like maybe some famous raps. But when it gets to the N-word part, I kind of like catch an attitude with them and they get scared.
I like to think.
Trying to say that she's a gold digger. I'm not trying to say she messes with broke people.
I like to think that you, similar to what Norman did, have the lyrics like written out, and you're sort of walking them through like the cadence of the rap, and then when it gets to the end word, you just go, "Not for you." Like,
Yeah.
no.
I'll just say that part for you.
I'll just say that part for you. Yeah, I like that. So okay. There's a lot to play with here, which I really like. Also, Niles West has been in the background of every one of these scenes, like trying to interact, or he has like snacks for everybody, and then montage ends with him just being like.
Does he try and awkwardly hit on anyone? Or no?
No, he's got several lovers. That's a whole other.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he's good.
Yeah, he's
He's a little old for us anyway.
He's like
We're gonna
Roger
have
from
to have
American
a side
Dad.
episode just on Niles West.
Yeah, Niles West at one point, spoiler alert for the rest of the season, there's one episode where Niles West, he himself transforms while you guys are all really busy, but it's like a one-time thing, and it is his sort of like big moment. It's towards the end of the season, it's great.
Yeah. Pierce Brosnan special guest stars as the transformed
Oh yeah.
Miles West.
Oh yeah, I'm into that. Cool. So, all right, there's a lot to unpack from this training montage, which is great. But the key themes seem to be we're gonna have you guys morph, and you guys have learned how to rap in the hopes of like swaying cassette-trophy. So what's the plan?
Can I add a thing to the montage?
Sure.
Or no?
It depends on what it is.
Norman showing me the different cassette tapes and stuff like that, and then me pointing out the burnt one that his brother had with the cigarette.
Sure. Yeah, I'm into that. Cool. All right, so
Just like, this one's different.
this one's different. Yeah, you see the reel of tape is gone, so you know that fire has something to do with it. So let's formulate a plan. What is your guys' plan for getting him, calling him out, and then what's the plan for like actually kind of attacking him? And we can sort of play out the like actual attack and see how he reacts. But how do you guys call him out? It's very clear that like you want him front and center in front of you. You want a private show, as it were.
We're gonna have a rap battle.
We're gonna have flyers and stuff like that be like made up and just thrown around town.
I picture kind of like a
No.
kind of like an extreme say anything situation.
Okay.
Or like Top That from Teen Witch.
I thought you meant
we
the
have-
band for a second. I was like, what do you mean?
No, we have like one of the robots just standing with a boombox over its head, just blasting music
Oh,
Open
okay.
mic night.
to draw 'em in.
Okay, I'm in.
We need to fix the robots still, because as of right now, which ones are active?
I think let's play it this way. Norman, you have 2 tokens. Kyle, you have 1. Artie, you have 2 tokens, and Gold, you have 1. If you all individually want to spend a token, you can summon your mechs, because that equates to a heavy move, so we could do that to get the mechs out there. We could consider them, enough time has passed where I think they're healed. They may not be 100%, but they're battle ready again. So if you wanted to do that, that would require a token spend, which I'm happy to facilitate, because I do like that idea. We would have to talk about, I think, Gold, you probably have your own individual mech right now. If they were to combine that is a separate conversation that we have to have. But you could summon your Megazord if you guys want.
I don't know, is there another lower key way to attract them?
Open mic night.
You could just set a stage for him and just have it say tonight only, like cassette-trophy, and just not pass out the flyers. But you would take notice because
We spelled his name
he's paying
wrong.
attention to what's going on.
Can you, if you do that, can you get an actual crowd? I think it'd be really funny if you got an actual crowd there.
I mean,
think
yeah, we
any-
can pass out flyers.
Yeah, we get an actual crowd
Like a,
in the
like
crowd.
a teen scared straight program.
I picture in the crowd is also the one remaining egg
It's only the
baby.
shitty kids.
Yay! He's alive.
Little did you know that the one remaining egg baby and the seagull started dating. They were just like, you know what, we're not that different.
2
They,
worlds, one
They
family.
reproduce quickly and they got little like babies.
Yeah, so they're on their like 5th date. They're into it. He's ready to
Serious.
propose.
Jesus.
What? They move fast. I don't know. Life's short, man.
Yeah, eggs spoil
Yeah.
quickly. I
You
get
fucking
it,
kick
but,
them
like,
apart.
Yeah, man. It's true. You basically look at them and they dissipate.
Yeah. Alright, yes. Let's, okay, so yeah, 2 routes. You could do the Zord route, or you could do the open mic night. What do you guys want to do?
Open mic
I
night.
say, yeah, let's do open mic night. Let's save these tokens.
Cool. Alright, so, you guys are at, just call it like an old theater community center. You've set up a bunch of plastic chairs and everything, and there's like, there looks to be a bunch of people and an egg baby and a seagull sitting in some of the seats. Everyone's having a good time. And I think you, probably Kyle's the best person for this. You come out, Kyle, do like a short introduction to hype the crowd up. or one of you do a short introduction to hype the crowd up get them to start chanting like Catastrophe.
Sure.
Y'all like cassettes? Y'all like catastrophes?
Y'all ready for this? Okay. So
no, sorry. I was saying no to Paul's. They were like cassettes, yeah, and they were like catastrophes, no,
no. Hey y'all, we got a special act tonight. His name is Catastrophe. Show a little love, y'all. All right, let's get it.
The crowd
seems a little shy. Let's start chanting his name.
Yeah, the crowd, upon hearing his name, goes wild. And I think they start chanting, and eventually he just kind of shows up with Liberace piano and like all of these instruments, and a bunch of egg babies wearing Beatles mod wigs.
Very nice.
Show up at the same time
With like really bad Liverpool accents. All right, let's go put on a good show.
like, ooh, drums.
I'd like to think the egg babies always have Liverpool accents.
Yeah, they're from overseas, and it's great. So he shows up, and he's just like, "Are y'all ready to rock?" His voice changed again, and y'all are backstage, kind of far and away. But he's taken to the limelight. He's pumped for it. But his music is awful, and it's gonna start. Well, here's a question. Are there actually people there, or are they like dummy people that you guys set up?
Just like cardboard cutouts of people.
I think there should be some people there that just kind of wandered in from the streets. Okay. like, oh, hey, a free concert's going on?
Or maybe,
like, interrupting
going on?
or maybe you guys are the people sitting in the crowd with disguises on.
Just like
I think
fake
we should have
mustaches
not real people in the crowd, so that way they're not endangered.
Okay.
But have cardboard cutouts with like little iPods underneath
For people noises?
to make people noise, or like speaker to make.
You just have a soundboard.
noises.
So the PA system.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So he starts playing. He looks over to see like people start fucking bleeding out because he knows what happens when human beings hear his music, and he's not seeing it. He just sees the egg baby just sort of like rocking out in the crowd.
That's the best show I've ever seen.
But the seagull she's not having it. She's like, this is what you're into. There are cultural differences, man. It's really coming together.
I hope it works.
Yeah, she likes white noise. I don't know. She's not into music.
Okay.
Really likes the sound of the ocean.
So yeah, you've set him up. You've got him where you want him. What do you guys want to do? Let's start with Norman.
So I've established we should morph. So I think I'd start by morphing.
Okay.
Like just gonna go for it, go hard.
Nice. All right. So yeah, you transform when danger appears using a token from your heavy turn. You are down to 1 token. Do the hand signal that Jay did. Jay, can you remind us? I think it was.
Was it this?
Thumbs
It was
out.
like this, and then that, and then into that. So like a glitter splash.
And you say your color and you say your dinosaur's name.
You say your dinosaur and color.
All right, hold on. So I'm in, thumbs up.
You can make the second part your choice, whatever, but I did that for mine.
All right. What am I saying? Blue, Stegosaurus.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stegosaurus blue.
Glitter.
Stegosaurus blue.
Stegosaurus
Glitter.
blue. Glitter splashes all over the place.
Every time you go like this, just my fingers, glitter comes out of my
You
fingers.
just, ooh, technology. So you transform.
I did.
What does your suit look like?
So it's pretty like it's got tech elements, but not like good tech. It's got like the accents are like shitty wire,
Okay.
with like sparks kind of popping off. But it looks kind of cool. It's kind of like the Flash's new outfit, but way better.
Okay. So just immediate chin.
Yeah, just just blue with like wires running up to accent the
boards.
lines and stuff. Yeah, just like a kind of like in a circuit grid pattern.
Sure.
And it like you can see electricity running through it.
Is your helmet, in the way that Jay set things up, does it also kind of come out with some of the horns of, or sorry, not, I'm thinking Triceratops. Do you have kind of like
the Stegosaurus?
The Stegosaurus
Sweet
fins?
mohawk.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah, like kind of like a weird Stegosaurus mohawk goes down the side of my back,
Cool.
or down the middle of my back.
Yeah, I'm into it. All right, cool. So that'll be your turn for now. You've transformed and sort of like it catches Cassetrophy's eye, so he knows like he's got. Artie, what do you do?
What do I do? I'm trying to think. I guess I should probably morph as well.
Sure.
Right, and I can do that with a token.
You can do that with a token. You will spend one of your tokens. So yeah, do the hand signals and describe your suit.
What was it? This and then what?
Yeah.
Sure.
Dinosaur color.
T-Rex green.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm imagining like just a lot of teeth. There's a lot of like green teeth. like a helmet comes out and it's all like. And I had to have. Well, I'm trying to what the because the T-Rex's main weapon is size, teeth, and tail.
Short arm size.
Short arm size, yeah.
Yeah.
We can shoot out lasers.
You lose all arm movement.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I guess I just bite people.
So a lot of teeth, probably maybe a similar pattern to Blue to keep some consistency in the suits, and your
with
size.
the circuitry. Yeah.
Yeah, size are over to the side. You don't have little arms sticking out of your hands, but you kind of make that motion.
Yeah. It's the only way to get the suit to work.
Yeah.
I can't quite fit in it, so.
What a great visual.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have used a token and successfully transformed. Kyle, you're up.
I guess the best thing to do is morph, so I will morph.
All right, you're using your last token, by the by, FYI. Show us that morph.
Ankylosaurus yellow on forever.
What does your shield look like?
Let's see. Yellow, of course. I guess I have lots of spikes going up my arms and on my shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm a little more armored than the others, so I look a little bit bulkier.
Nice.
Let's see. I guess I'll have some more horn. Have some horns up here. Yeah, that's about it. I don't know what my accents are gonna be.
Cool.
Maybe.
I think Norman set up a nice consistency with the circuitry, so maybe a stylized circuitry for everybody.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Zane, take us. What do you do? I didn't mean to say take us on. That doesn't make sense.
Can I use a special turn to cast a spotlight on everyone while the stakes are high, or does that not count because the stakes aren't high yet?
Stakes aren't high yet. I think you could do that a little bit later. But yeah, I would say maybe give it a little bit more time. But
Okay.
yeah.
Then I'll morph as well.
Cool. All right.
And glitter. So boom, boom. Spinosaurus gold.
Nice. All right, and
I've already described my suit.
we know what your suit looks like. So, all right, let's get into it. You are all transformed, which is great. One thing to note is there's a squad turn section down at the bottom of your column. So as we move through this, since you are all suited up, you could combine your weapons into an ultimate attack if you guys wanted to, or whatnot. but let's have Cassetrophy react, and we'll have you guys go through another round of turns, and we let's wrap this up quickly, because the one nice thing about Sentai is that combat moves quick, and I know it's getting kind of late for everybody. So, all right. So Cassetrophy sees all you guys, and he sees some of the cardboard fall over as glitter hits it. And I think he says, like, "Ooh, this isn't the Woodstock that I imagined. My celebrations, my songs. It's like, I've been duped." He goes, "Well, I'm no chubby checker." And let's see, what do I want him to do? I think he's gonna, since you all took heavy turns, he's going to, and Jay will love this because this is kind of a Pokemon lift, he's gonna alter the landscape a little bit, so he's going to say, like, I think he says, he's like, I don't want just 4 numbskulls to hear me. He's like, I want everyone to hear me. And you see speakers open up on his arms, and his sound just gets, like, deafeningly loud. So there's just this, like, buzzing and humming throughout the arena that you guys are in. You can still act. Nothing is really... You aren't incapacitated yet, but there is just this, like, initial wave of sort of, like... After a while, if you guys don't act quickly, this is going to, like, probably knock you guys out. So let's start the turn order again and go back to Norman. What do you want to do?
All right. Let's see. So he just pulled out the speakers.
Yeah.
From his hands. All right.
His hands, arms, fingers.
Little ones on the tips.
Just the tip. Hey.
So I think I'm gonna ruin something perfectly.
Okay. Tell me how this works.
So, since last time, the kicking of the battery device worked so well, but was dangerous, I decided to go for a new and advanced version of this. But... Ah, fuck. What do I ruin is the question.
So it's a new and advanced version of an explosive?
My battery glitter bomb. Yeah.
I think if you do that, I think the glitter is going to explode, almost camouflaging him in kind of a smoke screen, and it's going to make it harder for everybody to see.
Ooh, that's good.
In the dangerous glitter gets kind of all over everyone.
Yeah.
In a good and a bad way.
As glitter always does.
Exactly. It's always a bad way.
So do you want to do that?
Yes.
Cool. All right. You're getting a token, so you're at 2. So yeah, you fucking... I think you line yourself up, or maybe you hand it to somebody else. You're like, hey, hold on to this for a second, and just fucking, like, kicksman... Wait, that's the football term, right? You kick it...
Kicksman?
Yeah, the kicksman.
He punted.
You punted over, and it explodes in his face, creating an effective smoke stream. But you hear him, one or two of the speakers kind of short out as you do that. So it does its damage, but everybody else, you are not really able to see him. You can, however, see all the Liverpudlian egg babies when they're trying to protect the instruments.
They're super expensive.
Ooh, drums.
Can't afford to get new ones.
Ooh, I borrowed this from my cousin.
Is Eggy still with his date?
I think they've...
Or is he helping fight?
They've escaped. That's...
Yeah, I think he retired. Okay. He got out of the business.
Yeah, they're... Everyone's...
I just want to figure out what's going on with that.
No,
That's
I appreciate that. We'll do a nice wrap-up scene, but I don't want him to get hurt. He's too precious.
Cool.
So...
He's a precious little egg boy.
He's a precious little egg boy. All right, Artie, you are transformed, and you see the smoke screen kind of go up. What do you do? What do you want to do?
Let's see here. So, and you said that Cassidy there is all camouflaged.
Yes.
So, I'm trying to
Catastrophe.
let me see here. Looking over my options here, I could display an eccentric fighting technique and just sort of just start swinging at everything, or maybe I don't know if this is applicable to the game, but seeing as how I was able to kind of summon glitter even without being in that form, thanks to what Dad taught me, I wonder if there's a way of like I can slightly see a shade of catastrophe.
Is there? So you could use. You have a token left. I would say if you want to do that, you could stumble upon a unlikely perfect hit.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to do that, because that is, yeah, I think that kind of best fits what you're describing of just like I have this second sight, as it were.
Yeah.
But you're not. It's not something
It's not perfected.
It's not something
Like,
you've
it's
mastered.
All of the sounds and try and hit the speakers pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to do that, I think that fits that mold pretty well.
Okay. Yeah, because that's the only thing I can think of. Because I'm pretty sure, asking someone what don't I understand about the world yet, and those other options probably don't fit.
Hey, Dad, what don't I understand about the world
In
yet?
the middle.
When to
everything.
focus, you son of a
Don't
bitch.
fuck near trains.
It's not safe.
Yeah, I'll do that.
When she said she wanted a train ran on her, that's not
Jesus
what she meant.
Christ, Jay. It's not that kind of a show.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just saying that as a joke.
All right, so Paul, let's do that. Or Artie,
Okay.
you want to do that perfect hit?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna take your token away, so you are tokenless now. So Artie, yeah, I think it's one of those things where you power your size up, and there is a little bit of a flash in your eyes as you see very like a flickering sensation of where this guy is at through the glitter, and you like kind of swipe, and you're like, fuck, I missed, and you swipe, and then like I think you maybe like trip on a symbol and sort of like fly up and cut one of his arms off, so like one of the speakers, like a critical hit by accident. So yeah, we'll say like one of his speaker hands is now destroyed and off of him. But yeah, you were probably prone, laying on your back. All right, Kyle, what do you want to do? You are out of tokens, by the way.
Shit.
Sure.
Let's see. How can I gain a token?
You could take a light turn. I will say, if you guys want to take a squad turn too, we may need to wait until the top of the order because that feels a little heavy-handed.
Right.
So.
I'll do what's best for someone when they wouldn't agree and help Artie up.
Okay. Cool.
Don't help me up. Don't turn your back on the enemy, even though we can't see his back.
I think in doing that, though, you give enough time for you hear the whirring of the reels in the cassette, and you see the glitter kind of get like whoosh, like pulled out, and standing before you is this armless, very pissed off Cassetrophy. Just kind of standing in front of you. So yeah, you've helped your friend up to safety, but now he has sort of re-revealed his threat, or he's altered the landscape again of just providing some clarity, and he's starting to come down to swing down on you. Zane, it's your turn. And you got a token back, by the way, Kyle.
Yay.
Woohoo!
I'm going to perform brilliantly to an unnecessary magnature and tackle the fuck out of Kyle out of the way. And Artie as well, so that they're not in danger from Cassetrophy. So I like tackle them and do somersault into a standing position. If I can.
Oh, I'm just trying to think of what is a good consequence for that.
Maybe I put me in danger instead.
Well, I was thinking it breaks their transformations, but that would put us in... Essentially, Artie would have to get another token and then do another round to retransform. But that is kind of fun.
Kill Zane, kill Zane.
Kill Zane, kill Zane.
I could...
I think
no.
if you want to do...
I don't think the secret side mission is a thing yet.
No.
But...
No. If you want to do that, yes, but he will escape and eventually he will grow, is what it will happen. Sort of within the next round of turn, you will have a giant cassette to deal with. Which could put us in fun mech land if you guys wanted to get there, but I also realize it's almost midnight for 3 of you, so and close to 11, and also I need to get home. So we could either resolve this in the room, or if we want to go to Mechland, since we set that up earlier, that's kind of fun. How's everybody?
How about Mechland?
I'm down to go to Mechland.
Down to go to Mechland?
Mech landed up.
Okay, cool. All right, so yes, you perform brilliantly doing all this like fucking weird maneuvering. And it is just like, even the egg babies are like, that's too much. Like, we have wigs that we
So
put
extra.
on and there's glitter, but that's just like way too much. But yeah, you grab Kyle and Artie out of the way and you fling them. They're both a little hurt by that because it's a rough landing, but you get them out of harm's way as Cassetrophes comes down and misses them, and then I think he like looks up and he's angry. He's just like, well, he's like, time for my biggest show yet, and he sort of he hits his wrist communicator, which just goes like beep 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 beep. It does the rap air horn, and from the distance you see a man, not really a man, a velociraptor that we haven't seen for a bit, in Vincent Claw. As Vincent Claw, okay, I'll do this. He like takes one of his talons and sort of like rips it out and throws it into the air, and it flies, hitting Cassetrophe as Cassetrophe grows to gigantic size. Let's do another quick round to token up if you guys want to, and then we'll have you all summon your mechs and do some mech combat. So, Norman, you kicked a bomb. It did all right. It did some stuff. But now you see this giant Cassetrophe. Is there anything that you want to do in the room or prepare? You have 2 tokens.
Let me see where we at. So we're gonna go to Mechland.
Which I'm writing that down and pushing to make that official language in the book. We're going to Mechland.
So should I summon my mech, or is that like a group thing?
You can summon your mech if you want to start warding him off, because he's going to start attacking the city soon. And you have enough tokens to be able to do that. The only person that doesn't have any tokens right now is Artie, so he's going to have to do something to get one.
All right, I'm going to summon my mech to start the process.
Sweet. What does your Stegosaurus mech look like?
I mean, it's a big, giant-ass Stegosaurus robot, but it stands on its 2 back hind legs. It kind of looks like the old Japanese Godzilla, where like he would lean back on his tail.
Whoa, okay. I'm into that. I like those aesthetics
So like,
a lot.
when I punch, I just have the short arms, but I go like this, but I have to lean on my tail.
I like that you're a Stegosaurus that doesn't spin or do anything. You're just like, let's fucking go, dude.
Yeah, my spikes are basically useless.
Artie, you...
They're strictly for show.
I like it. I like it. All right, Artie, you're transformed. Your dad just saved you from danger again. You're real Daddy's boy? I don't know. What do you want to do? You need to gain a token to get your mech going. Paul?
No, I'm thinking.
Okay.
What was your special turn thing?
When you take an opportunity to prove what you've learned to someone else, which you could do, they receive a token.
Well, that's and then that kind
received one.
and that kind of seems to fit with the narrative of you know.
You could admit your friendship with me, and you can get your free heavy move. Free heavy move.
Well, that can only happen.
Bringing the boy back in us.
No, yeah, that could happen now. Actually,
Just like admit that he cares about me or something like that.
you could also, yeah, you can't give tokens out. You gold piece of shit.
I'm dazzling.
Useless.
Useless.
No, I think I'll admit my friendship to Kyle because that'll fit too because he helped me out earlier and I was all mad at him.
Okay.
But I only know you did it because you tried to help and I appreciate it because we're friends and this is team good times.
You're not my shitty dad, and I like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah.
But he cares so much about his shitty dad.
I know, he really does. It's a complicated relationship. All right, so you
Went from fuck you to I love you so quickly.
you have gained a token back, and I think for the purposes of the story, if you want to immediately use that to summon your mech, we can facilitate that. Let's get that nonverbal head nod. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, quickly talk about what does that summoning sequence look like? What's your mech look like?
Are we still working with the theme of the circuits and everything, or is this?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So I'm imagining like kind of like it's a little bit more advanced than the first round of text that Rob made. We can just kind of see it like kind of like gripping on to different parts.
Doing Macarena.
It's. I thought they're giant mechs at this point, right?
Yes, they're giant mechs.
So so in that case, then I'm just imagining full on giant green robotic Tyrannosaurus Rex.
From Toy Story.
Yeah.
With
he's nervous.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
He shows up, his arms are like this. He's just like, I don't know.
And it's super glittery.
Super glittery. Yeah, no, I like that. So you show up, you guys are kind of holding down the fort with Cassetrophy, maybe like sort of angling around him a little bit. Kyle, what's up? Where you at? Who's mobile?
Is that the sounds you make?
Oh yeah, I guess I will use my token to summon my mech as well.
All right.
Let's speed this along.
What's your mech look like?
Well, he's a big spiky boy.
Yay.
He has a really big, cool shell carapace, which detaches to form the shield. Then his tail detaches to form the mace, and then the rest of him can form like all the accessories, like the helmet and like other cool shit.
Ooh.
'Cause I'm the support.
Yeah, no, I like how you set that up a lot because it makes me think that Stegosaurus is the legs maybe, and then Tyrannosaurus comes down to be the body, and then you kind of come all around to form the accoutrements of it. So that works for me. That's doing it for me. Cool. All right, so all three of the traditional mechs are summoned. Zane, do you want to bring your big bad spiky boy out?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring my Spinosaurus out, my big bag spiky boy. Gonna be a cutscene where it's like going through the woods and stomping trees down, where you see the trees start to fall down, then it pans out to be just giant robots stepping on the trees.
Okay.
And then it's going to transform as its own singular thing, with the head and neck becoming one arm. Imagine like Beast Wars with Megatron transforming.
Okay.
Where the tail twists and that becomes the left arm, and and the head becomes the right arm, and then the head pops up.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds dope. All right.
Oh yeah, it's glamorous in gold too,
Glamorous.
with like black outlining.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's glamorous. It's glamorous. You're all simply glamorous. All right, so we're all in mechs. I think Cassatrophy. Trying to think of the best way to resolve this, because going around in turns again is probably not the best way to handle this. I would say since you have 4 mechs, what's your guys' ultimate plan to destroy him? Like, you know a bit about his weakness now. What's the weak point that you're going after, and how do you plan to do it, especially now that you have this new mech? Like, you've transformed into a Megazord before. He has his own form. Is there some sort of unique new combination that you guys could do?
I was thinking when he tries to do his wire attack thing, I cut that and oh man, I can't think of a witty line.
Can you like detach part of your Zord and like the spine part, like a flaming saw? You just cut him in half.
Well,
Yeah.
so, okay, let's build on that real quick. So, alright, yeah, Jay, you really want him to shoot his tape at you. So,
Well, he tries to do the same thing, and I'm just there to help him in the bad spot.
so I think
And I would cut it with the. I just can't think of a witty line. That's all.
what ends up happening, I'm gonna play your hands a little bit here, is he kind of opens himself up and shoots a bunch of his tape out of cassettes at everybody. And I think Jay gets part of your Spinosaurus sword, maybe like the left half of it, where you're able to detach a little part of yourself. And it gets, I think, Ankyo, or...
Like a super weapon sort of thing.
Yeah, kind of. Ankylosaurus,
Okay.
he gets your right side, so you can't, one of your arms you can't give. Stegosaurus and T-Rex, he misses you. So you guys are able to still transform into your Megazord if you want, but you'd be missing one of your traditional arms, but you could get a new arm. So I think what I'm saying is, to fully defeat him, you want to learn how to work together and maybe form something new, a new straightforward solution.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they already combined into one big one.
No, not yet.
Oh,
Everyone
okay.
just kind of
I super misunderstood
no,
that.
We're just hanging out.
everyone just kind of hanging out.
Zording
Yeah,
around.
because you had mentioned the Stegosaurus being the legs and body and then arms. So I thought that was the thing.
I can see how that would be confusing. I think I was just talking about that being their general transformation, but I don't think in real time that they've transformed yet, or combined yet.
Okay, then yeah, let's combine up.
Cool. So yeah, you Jay, do it. Yes, so you all do that.
Video game controllers.
You all do that in your individual Zords, and you see the Stegosaurus legs go out, the Triceratops leaps and folds and lands on top, and then, yeah, the Ankylosaurus, which arm do you want to have, the shield or the hammer arm?
The mace arm will be the one that doesn't work.
Okay, cool. So the shield arm pops off and sort of flies over, connecting to the Zord, and then Spinosaurus, a sword arm of yours, pops off, and like part of a face mask, like a cool gold face mask, comes and combines. And one thing I absolutely love is there's a season of Key Ranger, or there's a season that's a dinosaur focused season where the Megazords like dance a little bit. So I'm imagining your guys is like with glitter popping off dances. Can someone give me a weird name for the Megazord? Some like special weird name because you're performing an ultimate attack.
Spiky boys.
A Geosaurus.
Spiky.
Archipelago.
Drop it like it's hot to Lophosaurus.
I think I enjoy Spiky Boy's Megazord. It's what you guys hear as it kind of dances. And yeah, Jay,
Good time.
you are all in the cockpit, and an additional seat sort of slides in, and there's Zane. Zane, you are pop lock ready to go. That's not a thing. You're ready to go to slice this guy down because you know that fire seems to be the ultimate solution here. Do you have anything cool that you want to say?
Seems like your contract's been cut short.
I think you move a lever and you cut that guy in half as his reel bursts and everything, and your Megazord turns as he explodes behind you guys. And you've defeated Cassetrophy by adopting a new fighting technique and really thinking through some simple solutions and transforming 3 times. Cool. All right, so let's wrap this up. You see Vincent Claw and Morgan Le Fay do the normal sort of like angry.
We'll get you next time.
Yeah, they make some comment.
We'll get you next time, Rangers.
They're currently sitting on top of a cliff inside of Victor Claw's Victorian train car.
They're sitting there, they're having high tea, and they throw down a magazine, and it has Cassetrophy, and it says, like, hack, or, like, all burnt out.
Always support.
Yeah, and so there is that initial frustration from them, and I think Morgan Le Fay, like,
One-hit blunder.
wow. She crushes her cup of tea.
Wasn't too lit.
This mixtape was.
Oh,
Yes, this is good stuff,
So
guys.
many. There's just newspaper after newspaper after newspaper.
Just never ends.
Where does this keep coming from?
Why was he so popular?
And we'll end their scene on that. Let's do some quick closing vignettes, and then we'll do our task vote. Norman, you guys got rid of Cassetrophy. You now have no use for all these rad cassette tapes that you have that you found in the trash. And your brother, I think, you haven't been around at home at all, but your brother is now heading back to college. What do you do? How do you want to leave things in this episode?
I see myself just walking out into the backyard at my parents' house, and I lay a cigarette, and like it looks like I'm gonna smoke it, but then I just flick it into the pile of old cassettes, and then just walk away as they burn.
Jesus. I love it. All right. Kyle, you got rid of Cassetrophy. Your life is returning back to normal. But I have an idea in mind for your end scene, but I'm not gonna railroad you. So you go back to work at the comic shop. Your doting parents are still not really understanding what's going on with you. You're not home all that much. How do you want to leave things?
I think we'll be having a phone conversation, and I think I'm gonna come out as a musician.
Nice. What genre?
Boys to Men cover band.
Yeah, let's do R&B.
R&B it is. I think you are having dinner with your parents at like a really nice restaurant too, and your mom just fucking faints. But yeah,
That's the devil's music.
and in your pocket, I want you to actually have a cassette that says Cassetrophy mixtape. like number one. Like you actually kept you kept a little bit of the music just to be like, I could learn something from this guy, because like how did he master all those styles? That's actually quite a thing. Artie and Zane, let's do sort of a joint ending scene for the both of you, since you have your tied up relationship. I think you guys are back at the house. The wall is back up. Maybe it doesn't look all that great. There's like glitter along the side of it that's sort of keeping it all in.
That's what's keeping it together.
That's what's keeping it together. But you guys, Zane, it seems like you have nowhere else to live, so you're probably going to live in this house, right?
Yeah.
So let's kind of resolve that. You guys, after being distant for so long and now finally solving a problem together by finding a common understanding, are now spending some rather intimate time together. Where do you want to leave things?
Let's see. Let's go with. I know I wasn't always there for you in the past, but I'm ready to make up for it in the future. Really impressed me out there in the past couple days, and I'm really proud of what you've become.
Thanks, Pop. I'm proud of me too.
Such an arrogant little kid.
I learned from the best.
And we'll end on that line as the camera zooms out of the house and goes. You see the sun starting to set, and we'll end this particular episode of Team Good Times as the camera pans onto the beach, and you see a wedding ceremony of Egg Baby and Seagull with all their close friends as they come together in holy matrimony. So that has been our gold focus episode of Team Good Times. The one thing that we do here, looking towards the future in a campaign, is we do a quick vote against tasks. So if everyone could quickly read the task that you were working towards, and then as a group we'll vote and see who actually like did the best job doing that. That person will get a raise, and we can kind of we can discuss in those options what makes the most sense. So Blue, your task was
Played by the book most of the time.
All right. Green, your task was
approach the right thing to do from the wrong way to do it.
all right. Yellow, your task was,
Explore individuality and insecurity.
and gold, your task was.
Display the shining pinnacle of my abilities.
All right. So let's vote for Blue. Play it by the book most of the time. Who thinks that Norman did the best job playing to that?
Just kept making pipe bombs.
All right. So Norman, you get.
I feel like I just read the Anarchist Cookbook too many times.
You learned how to start smoking. All right, so Norman, you get one vote. Green was approach the right thing to do from the wrong way to do it. How many people think that Green did the best job playing towards that? All right, you get 2 votes. That's pretty good. All right, Yellow, explore individuality and insecurity. How many people think Yellow deserves a vote for that? All right, we get 2 there. And Gold, display the shining
You
pinnacle.
get more than one vote?
Yes, display the shining pinnacle for your abilities for all to see. All right, that gets a wonderful 3. All right, so let's close this out with raises. So Zane, you get a raise, or Jay, you get a raise because you played the best to your task. You can choose one of the following. You are without a doubt at home among your allies. No one will ask you to leave. Describe why. That seems to kind of fit with where we left things. Your suit, weapon, or mech become undeniably better. Describe how. Start each episode with the token from now on. Or retire your character, swap powers with someone, lose your powers, step down, or disappear. Describe what happens.
I'll go with, without a doubt, at home among my allies.
Great.
And no one will ask me to leave. Because Artie has acknowledged me as his father, clearly, and clearly doesn't want me to leave, and the other two have stuff to learn from me as well.
Yeah, I think that narratively fits very well. And it's what's funny about that too is Paul had to leave early, so he's disappeared, further insinuating a need for a father figure within this game. So that's.
I thought it'd be funny to retire and just make him the Gold Ranger and be like, haha, one shot.
Wait, well, you could have done that, but maybe you could do it next time you play Henshin. I think that's gonna be it from me for the game. Thanks so much for having me, you guys. This has been a blast. This was a really fun one.
Yeah, it's super fun.
It was a good time.
We get some sick fan art out of
I
this.
know, right?
Yeah, the Velociraptor.
The Velociraptor.
I think my Victor Claw is
Yes.
pretty.
I'm a big fan of that.
I want some
Just,
Niles
like,
West.
Screen cap that and make it the photo for our podcast thing.
My cassette trophy.
That's pretty amazing.
It's beautiful.
I was a big fan of the Egg Baby Seagull subplot that we had going on. So
Yes, I ship that.
yeah.
I'm pretty pleased with that.
That's pretty important.
Pretty-
Should we close out our podcast like normal, or
Yeah.
How do you do that?
or should we just casually talk about how much fun we had?
We'll just say enjoy your issues, everybody. Thanks for listening.